Hey, good morning.
Good morning, everybody. You all right? How's it going? I love this comment. Sorry, I'm starting straight out there.
Hello.
Morning,
Yes.
Dingo. Morning, gang. Sun's out for 5 minutes.
Do you know the range and everything good? Bex, I'm not sure we've dressed... that does not work, does it? Pink and orange. That's a really bad combo.
Well,
I might just go with the
I don't
t-shirt
think anybody
now.
cares.
Do you mind if I just wear the t-shirt? I just hate it. Sorry, that's... I know we're not fashion gurus. That is bad, isn't it?
All right, you do that and I'll do the intro.
Yeah, but good morning.
Your mic's out. Good morning, everybody. How are you? Welcome to the Potting Shed. It is another Sunday morning, so we are here to bring you all the amazing deals that we've got. Sean's with me. He'll be back in a second. A few things to tell you about, of course. All of you regulars, you know this, but if there is anything that you want to get, you need to use a special code. It's going to appear on the screen. That code will give you discounts, savings, but it will also give you that free P&P on every single thing that's in the potting shed. Pots, compost, plants.
That was a very good introduction.
Thank you very much.
That's it all covered. That's great. There it is, that offer code on the screen, YGTV 2325. So I just think that looks so much better.
That's better.
That was just...
I'm all right with that.
I know you don't care. But we love it when you interact. So if you want to be part of the live stream, you can, of course, messages, you can be part of the chats on YouTube, Facebook. You can email us. We love to see pictures.
We love to see your pictures. There's a few in already. I think it was Ali G that I saw, or was it Dingo? Yeah, Ali G and Dingo. Thank you very much for your pictures. We will be showing those very soon.
So YGTV at YouGarden.com. Now, I think the only thing that you didn't cover, Bex, in that amazing introduction, was the club membership.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So we have got a discount club, which is brilliant. Most of our regulars are members, but if you're not, you could join right now. You could join and place your first order, and you would save 15% on all of the plants and the compost and the pots as well. It's really easy to join it. It's currently on a promotion. So the auto renewal yearly subscription was £20, it's now £10 per year, and that will give you all of these benefits, 15% off all plants and accessories, but also things like 7.5% off outdoor living machinery, garden tools, things like that, £20 worth of product vouchers, that's like getting £20 worth of cash back, free P&P vouchers, because although you get free postage on anything on the live stream, if you're to shop on the website, you would be paying postage, so you've got two brilliant vouchers worth $6.99 each. So if you join the club today, you will save a fortune in the next 12 months, and you will see two prices on the screen. Both are really good, but the club price is 15% lower. Right.
Should we get started?
I think we're both on form today, Bex.
Well, let's see if we can keep it up for 3 hours.
Yes,
we're going to go...
I'm really joking. But we have got loads. Should we start over here?
Yeah, we're going to go favourites first of all.
Left and right.
And actually, I can't... Do you know what? I can't remember what we had on the favourites, but I don't think we're that far off on what we started with on Thursday,
and when we say favourites table, we sort of like have a guess about what's going to be popular, but then we know after the Thursday live stream which are your favourites at home. We've got some beauties here, actually, haven't we?
We're starting off with these power daisies.
Yes.
You've got the yellow and the tango, and they come as jumbo plug plants. And we'll show you. Let's open this one up a little bit, because I want you to see the sort of size of the plug plants that we are providing you here, because these are really nice, big jumbo plug plants. Every single one... Do I say every single one? Yes, every single one has got flowers or buds appearing. And this is the beautiful thing about the power daisies. They really do power through. They are hardy. This is not summer bedding. This is not tender stuff. They are hardy plants that will keep flowering from now right the way through to October, November. Which is amazing, isn't it?
Amazing.
Such a long flowering period, and a winter hardy plant as well.
And we have got a price there of just $11.89 if you are one of our club members, or $13.99 if you're not. They're
really easy to grow as well. They're super weather resistant, so these aren't going to mind if you've got wet, windy, cold, dry, whether it's really bright and sunny, they're not going to care in the slightest. They're disease free as well, and because these are going to flower for such a long time, right the way through to sort of, as I said, October, November, maybe even into December, it's a great one for pollinators, because there's not as much going on for them at that time of year, but these will keep going. You could plant them separately, because they do come sort of, well, they'll come with flowers on, so you'll know exactly which one's which, but there are labels on the packet, so you know which are the yellow ones and which are the tango ones. So you could separate them, or you could plant them together to get that wonderful yellow and tango display.
What a lovely bright start to the show.
A very bright start.
And they match your blouse bags.
They do indeed.
So 480922 for all 6 of those. And as we said, just 11.89 if you are in the club. Don't forget to use that offer code to get all of the discounts that are available, which is YGTV 2325. Right, we are going to move on to one of my favourites now, the gerberas.
Yeah, these are fab,
amazing,
aren't they?
Actually.
Another one that's going to flower for ages as well. This is a great thing about them. And they are hardy, which is an important note, isn't it? Because they never used to be. I'm
just going to go... Do you know what I'm going to do, Bex?
What are you going to do?
I'm going to go and get one from outside.
We did do that the other day and I completely forgot.
Yeah. So we've just got some grown-on ones outside.
We
I'm going to go
have
and get
indeed,
one.
yes. Now, these are going to flower for you for a really long time as well. So, you know, once these get established, these can be flowering for 6 to 7 months of the year. Not 67, 6 to 7. So they normally start sort of May, June, about May time. So May, June, July, August, September, October, maybe going into November as well. So that's your 6 to 7 months there. And once it gets established, you can get up to 50 flowers per plant on here as well. So I think from year 2 onwards, that's when you're going to get loads of them. But I planted them a few years ago and got loads of flowers all in the first year. And they're great for cut flowers as well, because you've got these nice sturdy stems. You always talk about the cut flowers on here, don't you?
Sorry, I'm slightly out of breath.
It's only gone round the corner.
Oh no, but I ran for some reason.
There was no stairs.
Sorry. That's really bad, isn't it? But yeah, that's one that's been going on. That gives you an idea. And the flowers, we say, last for ages. If you are taking them off as cut flowers, because you will, you know, as these get bigger and bolder, sorry, Begs, you will have enough for cut flowers. Just a little tip. Don't put too much water in the vase.
Yes.
If you ever buy a bouquet of flowers and it includes gerberas, the gerberas are quite often the first ones to flop, and it's because they don't like being in lots of water. So just a couple of centimetres of water is all you need.
Makes the stem go mushy, doesn't it?
It does, yeah, it does. But they are stunning, and as Beck said, they can produce dozens of flowers in a season. Winter hardy as well. I think I say it's about -7, yeah,
maybe -8, but yeah, they can cope with a bit of frost basically. I mean, if you're getting prolonged serious frosts that are lower than that, then yeah, of course you'd need to give them some winter protection. But you can grow these in pots, of course, which makes it really easy to move those pots to give them that. But it is a hardy gerbera. Most areas of the country, most winters, these are going to be absolutely fine.
And long flowering, reliable, absolutely brilliant. And what I love about gerberas is that they're neat. The flowers are neat.
Yeah.
You know, they don't... You know, certain plants, they can look... Like a geranium rozanne, which we've got coming up later, lovely, but it's got far more of a loose sort of growth habit. These are upright, they're proud, they are beautiful, loves that sunny position, a real sort of like sun worshipper, and you will get all 3 of those. And they will be flowering this year, but say you'll get more and more flowers as the plants mature. 561198, 14.99, or 12.74 for our 45,000 club members.
So many club members. Christina's just asked a question.
Morning.
I've been a member for about 4 to 5 years, and I just realised this year I didn't get any coupons, which was usually around March time. Should I contact customer services? Yes, absolutely, Christina. If you didn't receive your coupons, then there is an error there, but it will soon be fixed. Although I do believe you can log on and go into your account, and it will actually it should show them there,
because you've got a digital form of them as well as the paper ones. But ring customer services. I mean, I'm not being funny. Sometimes we know what the post is like. Sometimes you don't receive things. Yes, occasionally. Yeah.
But yeah, if you log into your account, you should be able to see all the details, and of course, customer support will do what they need to.
They will, because you don't want to miss out on those £20 of the vouchers. But say if you do want to join the club today, anybody else, you can join and save on your very first order. Right. Time for a bit of Fire Queen now.
Yeah.
So I've actually I've used these in some of the planters at the pub garden this year. And
Have you?
Yeah, and they look fantastic. But you can see them. Some of you may know, but I look after the pub garden in the village, and there's a big planter at the end of the car park, and I filled it with the geraniums, and you can see them from literally 100 metres away.
This is the great thing with the bright red flowers, because it actually it tricks your eye line, doesn't it? It brings things closer. So it's really good if you've got like a long garden to plant bright red colours at the end, because it actually makes it appear like it's closer to you. I do love the Fire Queens. You all know I planted these last year.
I mean, baskets?
Yeah, they
tubs?
were in the little tubs around the front, and I planted them into quite small plants, the Alhambra plant pots. Do you remember those? They were nice, small, round ones. Now, the reason I did that is because actually once these get established, they're quite drought tolerant. They're not the most needy when it comes... You need to water them well whilst they're establishing, obviously, but once they are, they're actually quite drought tolerant, and that's why I thought the little pots would work nicely. I adore the foliage. I think the zonal foliage you get there with that pattern around it is just delightful. It smells beautiful as well. I think it's got a real distinctive smell to it, but then you get these clusters on these tall stems that rise up at the top. My only top tip here is just make sure you keep on top of your deadhead.
I agree.
Because if you don't, unfortunately, it will stop flowering.
Yeah, and do feed them. You know, we've got our blooming fasts available. Do regularly feed them, but they will flower all summer long. They're reliable. And as Beck said, for anyone that maybe is going away on a holiday and you may be worried about, you know, not getting all your plants watered, they are one of the most drought-tolerant summer bedding plants that you could ever plant. You see them in the Mediterranean, you know, in Spain, in window boxes, when sometimes they will not get watered. You know, when people have got apartments abroad and they lock them up and they don't go back for 4 to 6 weeks or whatever. But these are really super drought-tolerant when established as well. I've actually grown them this summer in my mum's garden at the back of hers, and my mum's partially sighted, but again, she can see the red from a little almond tree. Yeah, so they're brilliant, they really are.
Yeah, I think they're fantastic little plants, honestly. And as I say, I grew these. This was last year, wasn't it? See my little doggy in the window. Who is that little dog in the window? His name's Otis.
Yeah, but they looked great, Bex, didn't they?
I really liked them. You can see they're in the little pots around the front there. Got the lobelia in the big pot at the back with my cypress tree in the front there.
I mean, I would have given them a little sweet round.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. Before doing that video. Look at my hanging basket as well. My hanging basket was looking good.
I love what you did with the displays with the lobelia, which also got the shape. It looks great, brilliant.
I think it just needed a little bit of white in there. I decided the other day. I probably should have put a little bit of white lobelia in there.
Maybe, but I mean, and look at all the flowers.
I know, so many of them. And there's all my hostas and my Acers over the other side there. Look. Yeah, loved it. Loved the front of my house last year. It looked really pretty. Every day I walked in, just a gorgeous, bright, you know, display. It made me smile every time I walked in the door.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah.
So there you go. If you like 20 of them, they are only $14.98, and the club price there is $12.73. One thing you can do as well, because they're not going to survive harsh frosts. We do class them as an annual, but actually, when I was a child, all those decades, I know what you're thinking, all those decades ago, but geraniums were often used as houseplants, and my mum, she often keeps some of her geraniums inside over the winter as a houseplant, and then puts them outside in the summer. So yeah, of course you can have them as a houseplant as well. Right. So if you liked Bex's display, you used the geranium Fire Queen and you mixed that with lobelia, didn't you?
Absolutely. Yeah, the lobelia Trail Away, which I adore these plants, and I say this every time we bring them to you. I want you to use these as a standalone plant. Yes, of course, you can use them as fillers, and they work beautifully, and it's because you get lots and lots of smaller flowers, loads of them, smaller flowers, and the contrast with larger flowers is perfect. However, when you plant a pot of these all by themselves, it gives the most just gorgeous, happy, beautiful display for months, just like that, for months on end. And I did this with some rectangular planters I had, put them in front of the toy box that we've got in the... It's an old grey, boring thing, and it just looks so pretty all summer long.
I agree. And I'd never done that. I'd always used them as a filler. But I have taken that inspiration this year, and I have done a couple of pots.
Oh, that's going to look so good.
Because it really works. What I love about lobelia is the fact that you don't have to deadhead it.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of summer bedding, if you don't deadhead, like things like your fuchsias, your petunias, they go over. But lobelia, it's self-cleaning, it looks after itself, so no deadheading. Loves a sunny spot. Little tip, if it ever gets too... Sometimes... towards the end of summer, it can go a little bit straggly, particularly if it's not had enough light or you've not fed it enough. I have sometimes cut lobelia back and then got new growth within the season.
You can do.
There's the plugs, by the way, really healthy.
Big garden-ready plants. You get 20 of those in this particular deal. You're saving a good £7 there as well. I mean, 11.03. What's that? About 50 pence a plug, or just over.
Just over, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's a really good way of getting lots and lots of colour and long-lasting colour as well. Each one of those is going to spread by, I mean, about 30 centimetres or trail by that much. So perfect in pots where they can just tumble over the edges. And
I've done the math specs. It works out around about 55 pence.
There you go.
Do you know, we were having a good chat earlier about various things. that I'm just going to say, some of the supermarket bedding this year is shocking. Because if nobody's watering it. Have you found that? It breaks my heart. Every time I've been shopping for food, I've seen plants outside supermarkets, and about 60% of it, on average, is just dead. Because there's no staff anymore anyway, is there?
Well, I just think if you're going to buy plants, why wouldn't you buy them from somewhere that's a specialist in...
Absolutely.
In plants.
Yeah. Because I think, and again...
I think it's important.
You know, I think a lot of the supermarket stuff is mass manufactured, mass grown, I should say. It's probably not had the best start to life. Where was this, Matt? So this was a supermarket. I mean, they look so... Yeah, they're Acers. They've been frazzled. They've had too much sun, haven't they? It breaks my heart because, you know, it's just such a waste. Anyway, I'll get off my soapbox. YouGarden are very proud of the plants that they grow, and you do get really strong plants with great roots that give you so much more. So if you'd like Lobelia, trail away. That is only £11 and 3 pence. Right, do join the chat, by the way. We want to hear from you. We want you to comment. We want to say hello as well. Right, now.
Yes, I'm glad we brought these back.
Very excited about the Canna lilies.
I love the Cannas.
So, one of the things Bex and I do on a weekly basis, sometimes a daily basis, we walk around the nursery, see what looks good, and the Cannas right now look fantastic. This one, you get all three, but look at that beauty.
I mean, that is just a stunner, isn't it? And all three of these are going to be absolutely incredible. You have got there, that one's the golden flame that you can see at the front there. Yes, you can see why it's called that.
Yeah, absolutely.
The beautiful bicut, and the fact that it's the yellow all the way around the edge of that petal is amazing. But you've also got the bronze peach and the bronze scarlet, and those are these lovely deep dark leaves at the back. And then you're going to have these bright flowers topping the deep moody foliage, and this is just an incredible plant.
And I think
should I say,
if you do want that really exotic sort of, you know, tropical look in your garden, then these are absolutely superb. And I think because you've got three, and two of them have got the bronze foliage as well, the contrast that these have is absolutely magnificent. You do need to protect them over winter. You
do. They're tender perennials, so you can easily get these to come back. I think the best thing to do is probably container grow them. Not fussy on soil type, to be honest with you, so, you know, our professional compost would be great for it. But container grow them. They get much taller. They can get probably to about, what, meter 20, meter and a half?
I've had them about a metre.
Yeah, so they can get much taller for you. And then they have these beautiful flowers that, you know, this one's out now. Typically, it's going to come out sort of June time and keep going for you through to about October, I would say.
And they will, as they mature, you do get a bigger plant with lots more clumps to it and lots more flower stems.
Well, actually, you can sort of see.
There you go.
There's a new one coming up the side here. And this one here, there's a central one, but then you've got the two side shoots coming up here. So you can see even on these 9 centimetre ones how they are already sending up new shoots.
Take one out, Bex, because
I can't. I mean, look, it's deforming the pot. You can see the roots coming through there. Because
I have seen these on the nursery, and they are very, very rooty. So you might even have to cut. You might even have to cut the pot off.
You may have to. Yeah. We did get one out the other day.
But it's a good thing. It means that they're really well established. They're really strong plants. Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
That is a rooty beauty
right there. Isn't it? Look at that. Amazing. So the value today, I mean, club members, that works out about £5.66 a plant with free delivery as well. I tend to put mine in the greenhouse during the winter, but it is unheated, but they survive every winter in there.
Yeah, it's something I'm going to add into my garden, and because my new house is going to have a greenhouse in it.
Yay! Do you know, it's the best thing. Anyone that hasn't got a greenhouse, I can honestly say it's the best investment if you're into your garden that you can ever make. And even if you can't maybe go for a big greenhouse or a permanent greenhouse, some of the little plastic ones are brilliant. I've had the little temporary ones before.
Yeah,
they're great.
Yeah, absolutely.
They really are. And you can buy those for next to nothing. But if you'd like to go for the Canna collection, it is a beautiful, beautiful collection. All three there for just $19.97, and they say the club discount price is only $16.97. But beautiful plants. They do, I say in the winter, they do die down. So don't worry. You know, the leaves will go brown, they'll die back, but they come back every single year, bigger and stronger. Right? Who's in the chat?
Loads of people. Sharon says, "Morning, gang. Could I ask a silly question?" Never a silly question, Sharon. Don't ever feel bad for asking questions. Would a sunbelievable be okay in a planter in full sun on my parents' grave? Thank you.
Absolutely.
I think that is the perfect spot for it.
I really
Absolutely.
do.
Full sun, that is a lovely thing to add to the grave. Hopefully you go back and visit. Hopefully we get regular rain, because obviously you just need to keep up on your watering. But yeah, absolutely.
Perfect.
Beautiful. Right, your mic's sorted. Sorry about the noise on his mic.
Yes, that was me. Sorry.
Nana says she loves gerberas. Thank you, Nana Berv. Sean, great. This is from Neil. Great last couple of shows on QVC, especially the garden space. Or do you mean Escape? Garden Escape live one?
Oh, the live...
Was that the Friday?
Yes.
Yeah!
Thank you, Neil.
Will those pansies be coming to YouGarden? I'm going to say probably, but at some point. There has to be, because some things have to stay exclusive to QVC just for a short period of time.
We tend to do different deals on different platforms. Neil, I will find out, but I have to say, they have got a great price on those currently. They really have. Yeah, really good, really good.
Mauricia, Canna lilies I have extremely large planter in a very big trough. It's taken over and my other plants that was in there with it has died. When do I transplant it?
Well,
So
Canna
lilies.
Well, it's taken over.
Yeah.
I wouldn't move it now.
No.
It's because
Autumn.
Or you can either do it in autumn as it's dying down, or you could do it in spring just as it's beginning to come back.
Yes.
But I'd do it makes sense to do it in
Either of
autumn.
those.
It really would if you want to get it sorted.
Gillian, my standard lilac is sprouting at the bottom of the stem. Should I remove these?
Yes.
Yeah,
pinch
absolutely.
them off. No, I normally just pinch.
Yeah, if you can scratch with your nail or something, it tends to... I'm not going to say it works every time, but it tends to stop them from growing back quite so vigorously.
I couldn't do that, no, because I hacked off a big chunk of my thumb peeling potatoes, Bex. I really did. I've had a terrible week, actually. I have. I seriously hacked off a bit of my thumb. It's healed really well, actually. Maybe I'm not as old as I thought. And then my one day off this week... I had to go to the dentist, which is always like a drama, isn't it? And I just parked up at the dentist, and somebody's like waving at me, like, what? I'm like, what do they want?
What?
So I'm right down the window. I'm like, well, yeah, come on. I'm like late for the dentist. You got a flat tyre, mate? I'm like, oh no.
Oh no.
Yeah, and that took 4 hours to solve.
Oh no.
4 hours.
Do you not have a spare in that new van of yours?
Yeah, because I'm a man with a van now.
He's a man with a van.
I've gone really butch, Bex. That's my butch look.
Is that
convincing? Really yeah, man with a van. So there is a spare, but guess what?
There's no...
no, the breakdown service man couldn't get the spare out because I've got a tow bar, and he couldn't get it apparently. But, I'm like... Really?
No,
so anyway, it was just a nightmare.
4 hours later.
Yeah. I've had a really bad week. Right, God, so...
No, I'm done with questions on YouTube, but Claire on Facebook has a question. She is a club member, and she's lost the letter with the vouchers on. Can she get replacement codes? Yes, my lovely. If you actually log on the website to your account, there is somewhere in there that you can actually find an electronic version of them. But if you can't find them in there, just get in touch with customer services. They will sort it for you.
Because I did that once. I once lost mine.
Oh, and Gillian's off on holiday tomorrow, so she's not going to get the Cannas because she's off on holiday, obviously, because of delivery and all the rest of it. Totally understand, Gillian. We'll still have them in stock. Well, hopefully we'll still have them in stock.
Don't make promises like that, Bex.
I know, I realised that and I said it.
Yeah.
Hopefully we'll still have some for you when you get back.
Yeah. Right, so, want to talk about compost. So, for me, one of the best things about joining our discount club, and let us know if you're joining today, by the way.
Yes, please.
Is the saving you get on our premium professional compost, because every single time that you order, you will save £3.75.
That's crazy. When you think the club membership costs £10 to join, you only need to order 3 lots of compost, and you've got your money back.
And remember, when you join the club, you also get £20 worth of discount vouchers, so you can put those towards future purchases of compost as well. So this is the compost that we grow our plants in on the nursery. What you will find when you open up the bag is the most beautiful texture, but... Bex has already found them.
Yeah, I just found a couple of the slow-release fertiliser balls. So that is one of the ingredients. It's one of the expensive ingredients in the compost, actually. Releases a fertiliser into the compost, feeding your plants for up to 6 months. So it's amazing. It's a really good one. It helps to get your plants started. Obviously, keep feeding them, get you blooming fast, get your individual feeds for your individual plants. But it does feed them for up to 6 months.
And we call it, it's like an insurance, because you do forget to feed your plants. Now, 50% of the compost, approximately, is composted wood fibre. We don't use coir. Coir can be good, but it's very low nutritionally. Also, I think it dries out quite easily. We use composted wood fibre, and that gives it, and you'll know when you open up the bag, the most incredible airy texture. And that means that any roots, as they're forming, as they're growing, they can easily access nutrients and water and oxygen. So it's got a lovely, really light, airy texture that plants just thrive in.
Now, it's also got peat in here, so there is reduced amounts of peat. We've got dark peat, light peat. We've got renewable peat called sphagnum moss peat. We have been reducing it, and we reduced it years and years ago before we were told to, before there was any environmental concerns, replacing it with that composted wood fibre, but we still get the goodness that peat gives us for growing our plants.
And you know, although, yes, we all think, oh, we you know, peat-free is great, and we all love the idea. A lot of professional gardeners still, you know, realise that there are certain plants that really do struggle without that peat.
Yeah.
You know, but we have reduced the quantities. We do put the minimum amount in to give the maximum results. Now, you've also got a wetting agent, and I always bang on about this.
You love the wetting agent. It's your favourite bit, isn't it?
And the reason being, you know the little clip you just saw, that's the pub garden that I look after, and it's all pots and containers and baskets. So what the wetting agent does, whenever these dry out, and on a windy day, you know, any pot, container, hanging basket can dry out so quickly, this reabsorbs water so quickly. So what it does is you actually water the compost, rather than the water all going over the side of the basket, the pot, it just reabsorbs that water really quickly and really thoroughly as well. So yeah, I do love the wetting agents.
It is pH balanced, so it's just slightly left of neutral. It's just in the right spot, the sweet spot for the majority of things that you're going to plant. I think everything in the potting shed today, bar the lemon tree that we've got, everything else wants to live in this compost.
Yeah.
We don't have anything that would prefer to be in the acid soil other than that lemon tree. And I always say this, about 98% of the things you're going to put in your garden, unless you've got a specific acid-loving garden, this is the compost to use. We use it here at the nursery.
And the convenience, you order it from us right now, it's delivered straight to your home, and you will save, if you're a club member, £3.75 every single time that you order. I have got a confession to make.
Oh, no. Did you buy some other compost?
Because sometimes you'd run out. And do you know what? And I can't even remember which compost I bought. And do you know what? The plants, and this is a true story, the plug plants that grew in the other compost, I can't even remember what it was, but the compost, it holds on to too much water.
Yeah.
And some of our plants, I never kill a plug plant, right? I've actually lost some plants in the compost.
Yeah.
They've got too wet when I've watered them, and they've sort of like, I've killed quite a few plants. I don't know which compost it was. It was only one bag, so, you know. But the moral of the story is, and that is a true story, always have enough compost. Stock up.
I will do a confession as well then.
God of you as well.
So
if the head gardener's watching, he's going to be furious at this.
Last year I ran out of compost and I planted my calla lilies in other compost.
Right.
And they grew last year. They were, you know, started off, they look good. This year they came, all of them come back nice, lovely. But they're not very strong. Right. They've all started to flop over and go bendy, and I'm having to sort of hold them up. I've had to tie a string around them. They're like this. Okay. And I'm sure it's because I've got them in really bad compost.
Yeah. It's only like once in a blue moon that we run out of our compost, so do stock up today. I forgot to say, by the way, sorry, I'm going off on a tangent here, but I'm growing tuberose for the first time this year. Bex grew tuberose last year, wasn't it? And I was like, what have I done wrong? Because I planted them in March, right? Nothing has happened. Finally, nearly everyone has now started to...
No way!
Yeah. But it's taken... honestly, I was messaging Beck saying, oh, God, what have I done wrong? Because it's taken 3 months for... Yeah, I don't think I had them in a hot enough I
had so many people, because I did this video, and I had so many people come back saying, they're not growing, and I'd be patient, they take time, time. Amanda, if you're watching, I love that yours have come up as well.
Yeah,
but they do just take a bit of time.
I can't wait for them to flower now, I really can't. Right. What have you got in your hands?
I have got the Blooming Fast Soluble Fertilizer. fertilizer, superior soluble fertilizer, that lovely stuff that looks like pink sand. Now, this is the best feed. You all know this if you've shopped with us regularly. High in NPK, nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, 18, 18, 24 are the ratios.
That's high.
It is high.
That is high.
And it's important to, because those three things work on the three parts of your plant you want it to, the roots, the shoots, the fruits and the flowers. Then it's got all those trace elements in there, molybdenum, iron, zinc, boron, copper, manganese, all of those things in minuscule amounts, but that is the amounts that your plants need. We all need these trace elements to thrive and survive, and this contains it.
And literally 1 teaspoon to a watering can. That is it. And what... Sorry, I'm going to get my soapbox. What really annoys me are the pre-mixed plant foods in the supermarkets, because just the carbon footprint of sending a bottle that big that is mostly water is ridiculous.
Yeah.
If you think about all of those on a lorry, 1 tub of that, 1 spoonful in your watering can, that is all you actually need. And if you keep it sealed, because you might be thinking, I'll never use all that this year, if you keep it sealed every time you use it, that could be active and effective for many, many years to come.
Yeah.
But it's the best value to get the 1.25
I
kilo
know, that's
tub.
brilliant. $16.99 and no postage to pay, which
Amazing.
is awesome.
But it is such... We cannot emphasise enough the difference feeding your plants makes. And you can pretty much feed... The only thing I wouldn't use that on are my acid-loving plants and the grass.
Yeah. I mean, there's a specific ericaceous feed. If you used it on your acid plants a few times, it's not going to make a mass. It's not going to kill them or anything. But there is a specific ericaceous feed. We call it citrus feed because they love ericaceous ericaceous compost. So yeah, pretty much everything in your garden, and you can use it as a foliar feed as well. It doesn't have to go straight into the roots. You can use it over the top of plants.
And again, I'm just going to say it. We have lots of specialist feeds here at YouGarden. We do have Acer feeds, we have Rose feeds, and they are brilliant, but for a simple, brilliant all-rounder,
that one.
That's it. And, you know, I'm somebody, I shouldn't say this, but I don't use the specialist feeds most of the time. I don't. I use that. I use the Boomfast.
Yeah.
But they are brilliant. If you want, exceptional results, but I've found that works for everything superbly. Right. So I felt a bit sad when you said we had the grapevines on the show.
Right.
Because my last house, I had the most beautiful grapevine growing up. I had like a... Well, it was a lean-to, really, but I called it something else. I called it my undercover alfresco dining area, is what I called it. But it was more of a lean-to, and it wasn't particularly attractive. But when the grapevine covered it, it looked amazing. And I remember sitting underneath it with all the grapes just above me on the roof, and it was amazing.
It feels very tropical, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah.
But actually, it's really easy to grow grapevines. They are so well suited to growing in the UK. I know a few of you have got them. Dingo, I think it is, isn't it?
Yeah, I think Dingo has.
Picture. They look amazing.
I think Dingo got his in his
I think
like that undercover area.
Yeah.
Oh, no, he's not.
No, it's over the archway, and then there's a beautiful view. He sent it to us on Thursday.
Sorry,
He's got a
Dingo, I'm
beautiful
getting
view of his
confused.
garden. They grow so well here, and they're so vigorous. They're so easy,
Yeah.
but when you do get them growing, and you get them with the grapes growing on them, you do feel like you're on holiday somewhere, and that's what I love about them. I am planning on planting these in the new garden. I've got it all worked out. I am going to have grapevines growing, and you can grow grapes here. They can ripen enough to be able to eat
absolutely.
as well. We have amazing vineyards in the UK. Adam's been talking about it the last few weeks, how the wine we're producing here in the UK is actually rivaling, the Champagne region.
Yeah. I mean, we produce some of the most amazing sparkling wines. Where I live in the county of Rutland, there are some amazing vineyards there, actually.
Oh, have you been to visit?
Of course. Yes. Can imagine what I'd be doing. What would I be drinking, Bex?
It's got to be a red, obviously. Some kind of Shiraz or something.
Well, any wine. But we have got a choice on these. We're going to start with the red, and they do establish. I'm going to say mine established within 2 to 3 years. It was a really good size.
They really get going, don't they? And once they do, that's it. You get the main stem that's coming, and then all you've got to do is an annual prune, and it looks quite harsh, doesn't it? When you trim them back, you trim each sort of stem coming off it right down to within a few inches. But then every year it just comes back, and once it's going, it is not stopping. Yeah. I mean, 2-3 metres quite easily is the sort of height that you can get out of these. But they don't have to go directly up. You can get them to go sort of across things as well. So if you've got those seating areas, archways, pergolas, trellises up walls.
And what I used to do, because by the end of it, mine produced way too many grapes to be able to eat them all and do things with them. But I would actually leave some of the bunches of grapes just hanging down. And in the autumn time, even when the vine had lost its leaves, sometimes I'd still leave some of the grapes hanging down. And it looked amazing. It really did.
Is it something the birds try to get to, the grapes?
Mine was as I said, mine grew underneath the roof of like a lean-to.
Yeah, so they wouldn't come in there.
No, they didn't. But it looked amazing.
Yeah.
It really did. And say fully winter hardy. So don't worry. Even if you live in the north of England, fully winter hardy as well.
The thing is, we've got a deal on both of these. So the red and the white. I'm just looking at the price, £12.74.
That's really good.
And it's the same deal, by the way, on the two of them. So that's £25.25. Am I right? Thereabouts.
No, Bex, but it's close. So, what for club members are you talking?
Yeah, for club members. Both of those, though, if you are trying to get something like a pergola, for example, put one on either side and have them growing up and into each other, and have the red and the white together.
That'd look nice.
For the price that you'd be paying as a discount club price. That's amazing.
Yeah.
It's a bargain.
That's really good, isn't it?
24.
Right, so if you'd like to order 340034.
25.48.
Yeah.
There you go.
Amazing.
It took me a little while, but I got there in the end. They're winter hardy
I
as
think
well,
your
by the way.
maths. I think your maths has got better, Bex. I do.
Yeah, I'm not a maths person. Right. Magnolia Genie for you next.
Yeah, I know. I love magnolias, don't you? I think they're splendid.
They're magical. When they're in bloom, they are absolutely magical. And this one with this colour...
And that's what I'm going to say. That is like...
That's going to be standout special, isn't it? What I really like about this one, though, is that it's a slightly more compact variety, because obviously we've seen like Solangiana, who is
lovely,
beautiful, but gets big.
Yeah, Solangiana, what, are you talking 6-7 metres
Oh, my word, it can
Trees.
get really big. And they are gorgeous in bloom, but this one, is 3 metres-ish is what we're talking about here. So just a little bit smaller for our modern gardens.
For a magnolia, that is a lot more compact. And I think sometimes, we do worry. You plant a magnolia and then suddenly realise that it's dwarfing the house, whereas with this, only up to about 3 metres. Fairly slow growing, though, we should say.
Yeah, I mean, you can container grow this for a few years quite happily. In fact, you could probably container grow it for its life and restrict the size that it ultimately reaches. With the proper care, you could, definitely. Pruning is in summer, generally, is when you do your magnolia. So whilst it's in full leaf, that's when you're going to prune it back, but you're not going to need to worry about that for a few years with this one. You do have those lovely tulip-shaped flowers. They're lightly scented as well, and a standout colour, and it's completely winter hardy.
And they do normally flower, generally speaking, on bare wood just before the leaves come out.
Yeah, you can see, look, can't you? Beautiful.
So that's what I love about most magnolias, that when you see those big flowers on the bare stems before the foliage, it just makes them stand out even more. And I always say with the magnolia, they do like a sunny position, but make sure it's sheltered as well. It's really sad if you plant a magnolia in kind of an open, exposed area, and there's a little bit of a harsh sort of like spring where you've got a few sort of like storms and gales, and you lose the flowers quite quickly. So I always think sunny and sheltered is best.
Definitely. Beautiful flowers, winter hardy plants, and a £10 saving. Don't know what else you want.
I want 2 of them. 510971 for the magnolia there. By the way, do come to have a chat. My name's Sean, by the way, if you don't know me, because I've not been here as much recently, have I?
No. Been busy at QVC, haven't you?
I have.
Most of them know you. You're all right.
Yeah, thank you. Yes. They might be thinking, oh, Sean looks a bit rough. I haven't seen him for a while. Right, well, what we're doing next?
You're doing a review, my love.
Oh, yes. I think I need a new earpiece, actually. Right, these are the Power Daisies. Don't forget, 6 jumbo plugs, just $13.99, $11.89, and they are going to give you the most amazing blooms all summer long. They really are big performance. Now, we've got our gerbers next, but these are, because a lot of you might think about gerbers being just annuals or houseplants, but these are winter hardy to about -7. So great breeding. This is a bit of a breeding breakthrough with these. They will produce lovely, gorgeous flowers this year, but for many years to come. They do die down in the winter, so don't panic, but they'll come back bigger and stronger. The flowers last a long time, and each plant, when established, can produce produce up to 50 flowers per season. So they are really hard-working plants, beautiful flowers that are, I just think, simple and bright and bold and colourful. They do like sunshine, so a nice sunny spot and well-drained soil. 561198. Right then, yes, a gorgeous geranium. Really love this particular variety. I'm growing quite a few of these this year, actually, in my mum's garden, the pub garden, but known as Fire Queen. And sometimes when you've got all of the same colour geranium en masse, it really, really works and looks fabulous. Again, they love the sunshine. One of the best things about a geranium is that they are drought tolerant when established. So, you know, if you're going away on a holiday in August and you're worried about watering, they'll be absolutely fine for a week or two. 410065. Then we brought you Bex's favourite, the Lobelia Trail Away. What I love about this is that it doesn't need lots of deadheading. So, you know, a lot of summer bedding, like your fuchsias, your petunias, for example, you've got to take the dead flowers off to keep them going. With these, not at all. They self-clean, so they will just keep producing those flowers all summer long with minimum effort. 410071. The other thing we'll say, do feed them without blooming fast. That will keep them flying for far longer. Then we brought you that stunning Canna Lily collection. 3 varieties. You've got the bronze peach, you've got bronze scarlet, and the golden flame that you're looking at right now. And that's the bronze peach, and then the bronze scarlet is that rich red one. Love a Canna lily. They're exotic, they're beautiful. They will need a little bit of protection in the winter. I would personally grow them in pots, that's what I do, and I put them in the greenhouse. I mean, I have stored them in the garage before with no light because they die down to nothing. So, you know, as long as you keep them pretty much frost-free, they will come up bigger and stronger every single year. And they're really strong plants. I can't emphasize enough. For me, they're one of the best deals on YouGarden today. I mean, it works out for club members, about £5.66 a plant. And most of the flaming ones are in flower right now, so do bear that in mind. From a little trip down the nursery, they are in flower right now. Then we've got the grapevines, fully winter hardy, really suited to the UK climate, vigorous, lovely leaves on a grapevine, but when they start to produce those bunches of grapes, it looks magical. And they are brilliant if you've got a pergola, if you've got an undercover area that you want to just trail it across, absolutely magnificent. With a grapevine, I should point out, you do need to give it some help as it climbs and covers that pergola, that archway, but when established, you can get kilos and kilos of grapes. And you've got the choice of either red or the white there, 340034. To get the discount price, remember, you do need to join the club, which you can join today, and to get the free postage and everything and all of the extra deals, just use the offer code, which is YGTV2325. And then also we have got a beautiful Magnolia. Now this is Genie, and Genie is a lot more compact compared to, I mean, we talk about other varieties like the Solangiana one, which is one of the most popular ones, the Source Magnolia. This is more compact, only growing to maybe 2 or 3 meters, slow growing as well, but it does flower, generally speaking, on bare wood. I put it in sunshine, I would put it in a sheltered position. Magnolias like the soil to be slightly acidic, but don't worry too much. They're not too fussy. 510971. And then last but by no means least, don't do what I did. I ran out of compost one day, had to buy a different brand, and I have totally regretted it. This is our Prima Facial Compost, 100 litres for just $21.23 for club members there. And remember, you've got composted wood fibre, you've got reduced peat, you've got slow release fertiliser, you've got the wetting agents, it rehydrates really quickly, you've got the pH buffer, it has got everything to make you a better gardener instantly. And I truly, truly mean that. 100-125. Now, we are going to come back to an absolute winner of a plant. And Bex, I seriously planted another 7 of these this week.
Did you?
Yeah, I did. I honestly did. Because I had a few in my garden, and last year they just stood out so much, and they flowered all summer long, like yours did. So now I've done the whole edge of my main border in geranium rozanne.
It's going in every single garden I ever have. I can say it honestly,
absolutely.
and I've been saying it loads recently. If I make a list of my top 100 plants, that is in top 5. It's 100% going to be in top 5. I love it that much.
Yeah.
Mine has just started flowering again. I've got a lovely dome of gorgeous foliage, and the flowers are now just starting to pop out in there. I've planted it next to my Erigeron, the Sea of Blossom. They just sort of work so well together. It is the plant of the centenary. It is definitely one of my top picks. It's one of Sean's top picks. It's one of our head gardeners' top picks. I've actually been asked to do a talk at the Rutland Flower Show this year.
Oh, you're going to mention this, aren't you?
It's very exciting.
Yeah, yes.
I will be talking about the hardy geranium rozanne.
Well, Bex,
that it will be a feature of the talk that I do there.
I might come and see you because it's only around the corner from me.
It is
isn't
only around the corner.
Well, I've got a feeling I'm away that day.
I can't wait. I'm so excited.
But I'm
well, scared as well. Absolutely terrified. But
I was thinking because I run a garden club and. I was going to do a talk on all plants that have won the Award of Garden Merit or award-winning plants. And when Beck said that one plant of the centenary, that was at the Chelsea Flower Show in 2013. So you imagine all of the plants of the year and the contenders at Chelsea over 100 years, that won. And I think the reason being, so many reasons. One, it's beautiful. The blue flowers are exquisite. But the fact that it is so hard-working, so reliable, flowers for up to 6 months of the year, which is amazing. A plant that comes back bigger and stronger every single year. A plant that you can divide, because it forms nice clumps, but you can divide them and get free plants. But I can honestly say, out of all the plants in my garden, it's one of the hardest working with the least requirements. When I say least requirements, I've seen this grow really well in sun and in shade and everything in between. I've seen it grow in most soil types. The only type of soil it doesn't do particularly well in is acidic soil, so it does prefer it more neutral. And again, it's not one that is hungry. You don't have to feed it too much. You don't have to deadhead it too much. It will just flower and flower all summer long for many, many years. Does die down completely in the winter, but comes back every single year bigger and stronger. And I shouldn't say this, but I am going to say it. We do sell this in the 2-litre pots. So it's a bit bigger in the 2-litre. But they're so fast growing.
They are. I mean,
just think to
be perfectly honest, I mean, these ones are quite big and they do establish very, very quickly.
They do.
I just want to highlight, if I can, show you a picture from my garden, just to show you the sort of length of the flowering season on here. Now, that picture was taken on the 11th of November at 11:40 in the morning. I can tell that because it shows you on your iPhone.
11th of November.
11th of November.
Wow.
Now, admittedly, all right, it's starting to look a little bit tired. I will admit. However, that was the 11th of November. It had flowered.
I don't think that does look tired,
It looks amazing.
I mean, come on,
considering the 11th of November.
I don't call that tired looking.
Look at it, and you can see the Erigeron just there. There's the Sarcococca just behind it. I've got my little Rudbeckia just poking into the corner of the picture there. It looked amazing, and that started flowering end of May, early June, and it had flowered constantly all the way through to the 11th of November, and I'd done nothing to it.
So if you have not got geranium rozanne in your garden,
get it now.
Yeah, and that's both of us saying that. We don't always have the same ideas when it comes to gardening. We don't always both love the same plant, but if we were to put a top 3 plant list together, I think I'd make that my number 1, actually.
Do you?
I do.
Over Verbena bonariensis.
Oh. Yes.
See, it's a problem when you start saying...
Top 3,
That's
though.
why I'm going, yeah.
Right, OK, we'll do this now. Top 3 plants, I'm going to say, Verbena bonariensis, geranium rozanne. We need one more. What other one would you add to that list?
I'm putting Erigeron in there.
Yeah.
But then you've got Bowles Mauve as well. So I'm really struggling with my top 3. Because I've sort of got 4 to go in the top 3.
Yeah. They're all 4 winners, those, aren't they?
Those are 4 absolute stonking winners.
Powerhouses of plants that just flower
and are easy
forever.
And are hardy.
Yeah. So anyway, you need that one. 480, 120. I love the colour of geranium rozanne because it's a lovely kind of... It's a blue, isn't it, that is just exquisite. But yeah, are yours back in flower now? Mine have just come out.
They've just started. So I've got about 4 or 5 flowers, loads of buds. So within the next week or two, particularly because it's going to get really warm again next week.
I know.
So I think it's going to be blooming beautifully.
You know, I'm going on holiday soon, right? And the weather here is amazing. And I'm going to Norway, and the weather looks absolutely
shocking.
Rubbish. Yes. But anyway.
Well, I'm working every day this week except Wednesday, and Wednesday is like 25 degrees. I've got to fit a new shower.
Oh. Well, you've got to fit the shower.
Well, me and Kev. We've both got to do it. The shower.
To be honest, 25 degrees is
so
a bit too warm for gardening.
No, I'm all right with it.
Oh, yeah?
I'm all right with it. Get my bikini on, get in the garden. Nothing wrong with that.
Sorry, I don't know why I'm giggling.
Laughing at me wearing a bikini, that's what it was, wasn't it?
True. Oh, I know. I was going to share something with you.
Go on.
So when Bex and I have known each other for 20 years or so.
Yeah, a bit more.
So I knew Bex, which was an assistant producer at a shopping shop.
Oh, you're going to talk about my tattoos,
I
aren't
am! And I remember Bex, she was like this sort of like...
Slim.
Well, you're still slim, but you were 20, what,
mid-20s? Yeah.
Mid-20s. And you know, Bex like flirted in the office, and she's like, "I've had some tattoos done," and she showed me this.
It goes over my hip and slightly across my belly.
And I don't know why I said, but I was like, because it looked amazing. I was like, yeah, but Bex, what about in 20 years' time when it's not quite so firm?
Yeah, they don't look quite as good. I'm still proud of them.
You should be.
But they don't look quite as good as they did.
I was only joking. I thought it was great. I always wanted to tattoo, you know.
Yeah, well,
yeah.
It's never too late, Sean.
No, I think my skin and flesh is too loose
never
now.
too late.
They'd have to grip it really tight as it did it. Anyway, let's move on. We digress. Now.
Okay, we've got 2 options with this. First thing to point out.
Yeah, sorry.
You can get your 6 plug plants for $8.49, or your 18 plug plants for $15.28.
Yeah, I'll go for 18.
I mean, it depends on the size of space you've got to fill, I suppose.
I was just thinking that in terms of our top 5 plants, this would probably be my 5th one, actually.
Would it?
Yeah, I really would.
Oh, nice. It's definitely up there as a plant for your garden for me, because it's hardy, it's easy, it's pollinator friendly, it's drought tolerant once it gets established. It's hidcote, which is a really, it's one of the hardier varieties of lavender. It's certainly simple, and I love the fragrance of it. For me, it's all about bringing the pollinators in, though. My lavender border, which I'm currently digging up, but I'm going to replace it. Every single summer, it is just humming with life.
You can actually hear it, can't you?
You can hear it. It's got its own little life going on inside it.
And although there are other varieties of lavender that you can grow successfully in the UK, there's all the French lavenders as well. Hidcote, it's got the Award of Garden Merit from the OHS. It's got the Perfect for Pollinator accolade. For me, it is the most reliable and best performer in the UK when it comes to lavender.
Totally.
You know, and I think we often forget with lavender, we think about the lovely flowers, but the foliage is scented as well, and they're evergreen, and there are so many uses of lavender. You know, once the flowers are starting to go over, dried lavender can be great in terms of freshening up, you know, drawers. Great too if you've got problems with clothes moths as well. Lavender's great. It's actually really quite nice, little sprig in a G&T. It's quite nice.
And you can make lavender honey and all sorts, can't you?
Lavender honey?
Yeah, you can put little bits into honey
and
things. And then, there's so many recipes you can do.
It's often used for its decorative nature as well, like a little sprig in a napkin ring and things like that. So it's just so useful. But I think you were spot on the money there, saying one of the best plants to attract those pollinators, which is why it's got the Perfect for Pollinators accolade. And I love lavender in terms of it can look, like we've seen there, very sort of country cottage and organic looking, but equally it looks fantastic in a formal border as well.
Yeah, I think it works in so many gardens, as you say. It's a very versatile plant, pots, borders, and I think the 18 plug plants really does lend itself to creating that look that you can see there. If you want to line a pathway, 9 on either side, they spread by, I would plant about 40 centimetres apart.
I imagine your new garden, Bex, having a lovely pathway going down with lavender all either side.
Yeah, I'd like to.
Yeah.
I've got, lots of plants.
Just a couple of tips with it. Lavender, don't overfeed it. It doesn't need. It thrives in poor soils, and it does need good drainage. So mine's in quite a clayey border, but as I planted it, I put lots of grit in there, and it does great.
Yeah,
that's the only thing I'd say. Right, gold nugget next. That's Sempervivum. Have you got this one? I've got that.
I have,
Yeah, I thought you did. Yeah,
I've got. So I've got about 6 of them, and they're all in a little pot at the moment. It's one that I've got up on the table outside. I want it to turn into this, so I'm really excited when it starts producing all its babies, because this does produce babies really readily. It's known as hens and chicks a lot of the time, because you get the central hen, and it produces all of these extra chicks that come around the edge that you can leave like that, or you can pull them away, you can pot them up. Sempervivum actually means always alive in Latin, which is the brilliant thing about Sempervivums, because they are so ridiculously tolerant, hardy, easy to grow. I think the only way you can kill a Sempervivum is by watering it.
Yeah, overwatering. Yeah.
They really are so ridiculously drought tolerant.
So you are so right. I actually did a lovely display of Sempervivums for a friend, and she left the pot underneath a leaking gutter. So it was constantly getting drenched in water, and you're right, she did lose them. So that is the only way that you can actually. Well, I tend to plant mine in terracotta pots, because that way that they, you know, when it's a porous pot, it just means that they're never going to really get as waterlogged and things like that. You can grow them in gravel. I mix a bit of gravel in, but I think the gold nugget is one of the most beautiful Sempervivums. It's got a lot more colour to it. It's got these beautiful kind of reds and yellows and greens to it.
I think somebody sat this in the water thing outside. It's really wet.
Is it?
Yeah, we've got little trays outside to sit the plug plants in, so they keep watered. And this one doesn't want to sit in there, so somebody sat it in the water one. But yeah, keep them underwatered. They do not want loads at all. Really nice poor soil. They don't need great quality at all. A little collection of those. I mean, Adam did a lovely one I saw yesterday where he'd a Cordyline, some Ophiopogon black dragon grass, and then a few little Sempervivums dotted in around it. That looked sweet. That was really, really nice.
And they do look great in little mini displays. I've got like a whole set of steps with pots and Sempervivums in, and they look great. And they do flower sometimes as well.
They do indeed, yeah.
Oh, nice.
Doesn't it look cute?
Yeah.
Because that multiplies and establishes.
You'd almost think someone like Adam.
Is an award-winning garden designer, wouldn't you?
Yeah. Oh, he is, yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, 4 goals at Chelsea. But that really works. That looks absolutely lovely. So that's the kind of display you can do with 481026. And although they are a type of succulent, they are fully winter hardy. They really are. Right, we're going to move on to foxgloves, but foxgloves with a difference. This is the digitalis illumination flame, but it is a foxglove, but with an absolute twist to it. Because when I think of foxgloves, and I've got several in my garden, I think of, generally speaking, pastel shades. I think of pinks and creams, but these have been bred to the most outstanding, almost like a burnt orange or like a fabulous sunset. And I think these give the foxglove a really nice contemporary twist. Now, I haven't grown these. I meant to buy them this year. I can still buy them now as plug plants. You grew them, was it last year that you grew them?
Last year before. I grew these, and they are absolutely stunning. They have the most delightful colour to them, nice and easy as well. Plant them, sort of leave them alone, to be perfectly honest with you. And for me, it was definitely the colour tones that you get here. There's the apricots and there's salmon tones, and when you see those on a dull day, actually, I think the colours stand out better than on a bright, sunshiny day. You get lovely tall stems. Mine got to about 70 centimetres in height, 60, 70 centimetres in height. I got the main central stem, and then I got these extra little ones coming up the side as well. So you don't just get one flower from this, you can get multiples on there. It's the colour for me more than anything, and the height that those reach. And mine was in a semi-shade spot in the garden, so down the side of the conservatory, where, to be honest, the sun probably only got round there at maybe 2-3 o'clock in the afternoon, and it worked beautifully.
That's where they're happiest. They are woodland plants at the end of the day.
Yeah, it worked absolutely beautifully.
I think morning sun, evening sun. I've got a few, not this variety, but I've got a few really quite, not deep shade, but just a few hours of light, and they do great. They arrive as big plug plants.
These are huge as well.
Yeah, when we were getting all the plants ready earlier, and we both said, look at that. Yeah. So when you buy plug plants, it actually is a very affordable way, because we could have these in 9cm pots right now, but you would pay so much more. But when you look at the root systems, they are raring to go, aren't they?
They really are raring to go, absolutely. I think they're fabulous plants. They add height, they add drama. You know, the colour mix that you get with these, the fact that they are tough, hardy, you know, you'll get them for a couple of years in your garden. They're amazing.
I really like those. Yeah, I think I need to treat myself to those today. Right, 480579, the Digitalis Illumination Flame there. Saving £12, and the club discount price is only $15.28. Don't forget, I'll just say again, to get the free P&P, like all of the products on the live stream do come with free delivery, but you do need to use that offer code, which changes every week, but this week's code is YGTV2325. Now we're going to move on to something that I am growing this year, and it's the Osteospermum, a killer sunset. And oh my word, I have to, man, I just, because I've sort of like, I grew mine from smaller plugs, and man, are just flying right now. The colour palette is amazing on these.
Yeah, I mean, like if you love the Osteospermums, if you love the, you know, Purple Sun that we've got, I think these would work beautifully with them totally as well, because those tones just work nicely together. I think these have got a sort of autumnal feel about them in actual fact, the colour tones that you're getting in there. Obviously, you've got the bright, sunshiny yellow colours there. The great thing that I can see here, our plug plants, they're all budding up, they're ready. There's a few flowers just starting to open, and Osteospermum flower for months and months on end. They keep going right the way through to, I mean, September, October, maybe even tickling into November. They are tender, so these aren't the hardy Osteospermum. You will need to winter protect them, but they're not, you know, a mild winter they would get through. Yeah,
I mean, I always think with summer bedding, the first ones to go over with the slightest hint of frost tend to be busy lizzies. You know, they're little frost and they just go to mush. Whereas these, they will tolerate those mild frosts, but we do still, you know, say if you want to keep them for next year, you would have to give them winter protection. But a lot of people just grow them as an annual. What I really love about Osteospermum, the flowers do tend to last a good time, but it's a really nice kind of neat clump forming plant, and they look great for the centre of pots and containers. They look great en masse like we're seeing right now with all of the sunset shades, but I've actually mixed some of mine with petunias, and what else have I got in there? Oh, Million Bells, Macalabacoa, and it all looks fantastic. But for me, the reason I went for these, it was just the colour mix. I think they are absolutely gorgeous, and they are the killer sunset shades, 10 garden ready plants. The price tag just £11.04. It's known as the African daisy. So yes, they do love a really sunny spot. Right, any more people in the chat, Bex?
Loads of people. A few quick questions coming in. So Gillian says, Bex and Sean, I'm stockpiling compost and manure. Does it matter that I'm using the newest stock as these are at the top of the pile? Gillian, I don't think it matters massively, but it depends how long it is. Ideally, you want to go for the oldest stuff first. But I get why you're going from the top of the pile.
Ideally, but yeah, ideally,
I mean, if you're going to use it all this year, it doesn't matter. But if it's going to stockpile over and go into next year, I would just take the time just to sort of switch it round.
I mean, I know it's not the easiest of jobs, but if you could use the oldest first, it would be best.
Marisia says, Derek filled the Magnolia pot with the proper soil, but on topping it up, he used the other compost. Will it affect the tree? Marisia, do you mean you use you used professional compost and it's been topped up with ericaceous? Is that what you're saying? If so, I don't think it'll be a major problem at all.
What, with Magnolia?
Yeah, because Magnolia do quite like a little bit of acidic soil.
They actually prefer the soil to be slightly acidic. So actually, by default, you've given it exactly what it needs.
If that's what you mean, then you're absolutely fine.
If you've topped it with a cheap compost on top, well, we don't. No, you should be fine as long as the majorities are premium fresh.
Ruth, well done for updating your name. She was on as RKD66. She's managed to update it to Ruth now, so we know who you are now. Hello. Thank you very much.
Ruth's a lot easier for us to say as well, isn't it?
Alwyn's watching from bed today. Doctor's order. She's got a bad back. Hopefully a couple of days she's going to be in bed, but she needs to do some more planting, and she's got a dentist appointment on Tuesday. Alwyn! Oh my word. Rest up.
Honestly, I'm sick of seeing the dentist lately. I've been so many times. Cost me a fortune as well. I have got a lovely dentist, by the way, just in case he's watching.
Ruth says, I had a wonderful grapevine at my old house that we made wine from. Oh, no. Unfortunate. Oh, go on.
No, so I never made wine. I mean, which is bizarre because I've drunk plenty of wine in my time. I wonder if is it easy to make from?
I mean, I think it just takes time. And you need the bottles, don't you? You need the proper bottles.
I'm just too
I reckon you
impatient.
could do it. Yeah, patience, that's probably another thing. Unfortunately, the only archway in my garden now is covered in wisteria. Can you grow them on an obelisk or a pea frame? I think that's going to be a little bit tricky because they're a bit too small.
That's what I think. It really needs to be able to romp away, doesn't it?
And I mean, it would need to be a big obelisk. A pea frame's definitely too small.
No.
I think you need a bit more. You need a bit like a, it could go across a wall maybe with a trellis, but it's going to grow to a good sort of 3 metres. So maybe not.
At least. So yeah, I'm going to say no as well.
Right. Ruth's got 3 tattoos done this week.
we were talking.
She says people often ask if I worry about what they'll look like when I'm old and wrinkly. I reply that they will be old and wrinkly too.
Shall I get a tattoo?
Go,
then?
girl. Totally.
Shall I get one?
You should do it.
Yeah, go on. I think I will do.
Lots of people talking
part
about
of my midlife crisis.
Lots of people talking about the weather and the high winds.
Do you know what though? Let's welcome the rain. We did need it, didn't we?
We did need it, but it's going to warm up next week.
It is.
Look forward to the sunshine.
And I don't know about you, Bex, but all of this rain that we've had, my plants have just gone woof.
Yeah, they're having a lovely time.
Yeah, so...
Right, we've got loads of emails and pictures, so we will show those in a little while.
We certainly will. Right, but Matt's with us today, by the way, not Stu.
No, it's Matt today.
Yeah. Does that mean we can relax a bit?
No.
Oh, because Stu's always watching.
He's always watching.
Yeah, I'm only joking, Stu. Stu and Matt are both, they're brilliant, aren't they?
They are, very good.
But Matt's just said to me, time for a review. So here's what we've seen so far this morning. Now these, I'm not surprised, really popular. It's a stunning, stunning collection. And that's a golden flame that you're looking at right now. And most of those are in flower. They're stunning. Then you've got the bronze. This is the bronze peach. So you've got lovely bronze foliage, and then you've got these peachy pink flowers. And then you've got bronze scarlet as well. Now the Canna lilies, they will grow eventually. It's about 1 metre, 1.20 metre. They'll have a sunny position. I would grow them in pots because you will need to give them a bit of winter protection. But they are bold, they are beautiful, they are exotic. They are, they really are. They are, Bex. That means they are, yeah. I love them, I really do. I've got those in my garden and I do adore them. Then we've got a fantastic Lobelia collection. These are working out about 55 pence each if you're a club member. Really rooty, and the name says it all. They're going to trail away. They are going to trail away all summer long. And you know, I love this idea of Bex's of just putting Lobelia together. I've always used it as a filler in pots and hanging baskets, but actually it looks fantastic en masse. Really like that. 410071. Then another absolutely superb plant are our Geranium Fire Queens. 20 garden ready plant. They're going to arrive probably in flower, definitely in bud. Lovely zonal foliage on these that is fragrant as well, and very easy to grow. Drought tolerant. I mean, I would say those and the Osteospermums, probably the most drought-tolerant bedding plants that you're going to buy, and they will flower all summer long. And you can even bring them inside as houseplants in the winter. Then we brought you the gerberas. Now these have been bred to be winter hardy to about -7, maybe even -8, and it's a sweet, bright collection. Incredible breeding with these. And what I love about gerberas, they're neat. The foliage is neat, the flowers are neat, these lovely tall straight stems. Very simple flower often, but gorgeous in terms of the colour palette. And ideal, you can put them in your containers as well as your borders, but I love those, and they get bigger and stronger every year, and each plant can produce, when established, up to 50 of those stunning flowers. Then we brought you these fantastic power daisies. Where do I start? Again, it's another brilliant plant that's going to flower for months and months and months, and just give you bright, cheery displays that are adorable, and they really do flower en masse, these, at 480922. And then the plant that won Plant of the Centenary at the RHS Chelsea Flower Show, Geranium Rozanne. This is amazing, seriously amazing. So it flowers for about 6 months of the year, produces these beautiful blue flowers, It forms a nice big clump, and it gets to about 50, 60 centimetres height-wise, by about the same width-wise. They die down during the winter, so don't panic, they'll die right back, but they'll come back bigger and stronger every single year. And it's such a versatile plant, that one, you know, sunshade and everything in between. Pretty much all soil types as well. We're struggling in maybe a really acidic soil, but pretty much all soil types. And it's great in pots, it's great in hanging baskets, it's great in beds and borders. It is a brilliant all-rounder, and you get 3 of those in 9-centimetre pots for $19.52 if you are one of our 45,000 club members. If you're not a club member, I would join today. Then we brought you the English lavender. Now you can go for 9 of these, but the best value is in the 18, and you're going to get those for $17.98, $15.28 if you are a club member. This is award-winning, so it's got the RHS Award of Garden Merit, it's got their badge of being perfect for pollinators. If you're trying to get more bees and butterflies in your garden, it's a must. It is evergreen, it flowers every single year without fail, and so many uses for lavender, you know, used in culinary aspects. I'm thinking about lavender. I mean, Beck suggested lavender honey. It's often used in drinks. There's lots of like lavender gins around nowadays. It's brilliant for freshening up clothes drawers. It can be used dried in displays like wreaths and garnishes. Absolutely stunning and very reliable. Loves sun. It does need a well-drained soil. Don't overfeed it. That thrives in poor soils as it happens. 480, 478 for the lavender hidcote. Then we brought you the Sempervivum, and yeah, these are amazing actually. They produce the little babies, as we call them, chicks, and they constantly do that, and you can literally just pull off one of the babies with a tiny root, put it in another pot, and it will grow into a brand new plant. So these are always regenerating and producing more of the plants. And it's great I would put these in pots with gravel and rocks. The only thing you don't want to do is overwater this one. At the end of the day, it is a succulent, but it is a fully winter hardy one. And they do flower. Sempervivums do flower. Sometimes the main plant, when it flowers, will die, but it will always have produced babies around it. So you've got a constant supply. 481026. The golden nugget is one of the most colourful, I should say. Then we brought you a brand new type of digitalis. Most of you will know this as a foxglove, and it is the illumination flame variety. And this one is all about the colour. It's really unusual to see a foxglove that is this burnt sort of orange colour. Great in a fairly shady area. You know, this is a woodland plant naturally, so think about the sort of like part shady areas, and it will give you fantastic height in the garden. And then something that I'm growing right now in my garden, the Osteospermum Purple Sunset shades. These are amazing. Sometimes getting the right colours together is a bit of an art, but YouGarden have done all of the work for you here. So they've created this beautiful collection of Osteospermum that is like the most perfect sunset. These ones will flower, again, all summer long. They are tender. I mean, most people grow them as an annual, but you can overwinter them, but they need a bit of protection. They are drought tolerant when established as well, and just absolutely beautiful. Love those, and so I've got those growing in my pots right now. 410180. And then don't forget our premium professional compost. Here I am in the pub garden that I look after. I always, by the way, and these will come up in a moment, I always put my compost in my heavy-duty pots. It makes it a lot easier to work with. But our compost is incredible. It's what we use at the nursery to grow all of our plants, our hanging baskets. And you've got a mixture here of 50% composted wood fibre, you've got renewable peats like sphagnum moss peats, as well as the light and dark peats. You've got a wetting agent, so it rehydrates really quickly. You've got the slow-release fertilizer. You've got a pH buffer, so it's the right pH for virtually all plants out there. And what I always say about our compost is it makes you a better gardener instantly. So if you're maybe not getting the success that you hope for, then use our compost and it will give you the most amazing results. 100-125. Now back with Bex, and we have got some fantastic pots for you right now. You just saw them in that little clip of film, me in the pub garden. So we've always had for many years, I mean, I've had my 30-litre pots for about 20 years, some of them, you know, at least 15. I think it's about 17 years, actually, if I'm being precise. But some genius suddenly thought, wouldn't it be nice to have some bigger ones?
Yeah.
And to be able to stack them all together.
Yeah.
It wasn't my idea.
Wish it was, though, eh?
Whose idea it was?
Probably our head gardener.
Yeah, probably. Probably Peter's idea.
More than likely.
But now in this brand new collection, the Nest collection, you get 3 30s, 1 35 and 1 50 for $29.97. And I honestly did buy these a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
I did.
So I planted 4 hydrangeas up in them because I'm moving.
Because you're moving house, yeah.
I'll take all the plants with me.
And you want to be able to lift the pots easily.
Really
like this,
easily. So yes, I'm using mine as temporary homes for plants, although they can be permanent homes for plants. And I have got some planted that will continue to be their permanent home. And the reason being is that these are professional growing pots. Actually, these I think are going to be updated to the new style, which is that one there.
Yeah, which is actually got better drainage.
Yeah, much better drainage. You've got the raised bits here, you've got extra drainage holes, but you've also got the drainage holes all the way around the sides, which is what makes this a professional growing pot. Plus the strength of it, the moulded handles, all the rest of it. It's UV stable, it's frost resistant, it's never going to crack and break because of, you know, weather conditions. It's strong, it's sturdy, and you've got that extra drainage.
I've got to say, whenever I post on social media, 9 times out of 10, if it's a picture in the garden, I've always got...
There's one of these somewhere, yeah.
Same with you. The amount of times, Bex, I spot a pot.
Absolutely.
Because we do use them all the time. And having the larger one, the 50, if you're growing some of our fruit trees, although they'll do really well in the 30 litres, if you give a fruit tree, if it's got quite big and you need to repot it, to give it all that space is fantastic. So this was taken in my garden, and these are actually my pots. Some of them have had, say, 17 years, I reckon. Those Christmas trees live in those pots, and then what I do at Christmas time, I put a hessian sack around them and move them to the front of the house. So they are great as a temporary home. Oh, yes, this year, every one of my tomato plants is now in a heavy-duty pot. Last year, I grew some in the heavy-duty, some in slightly smaller pots, and the ones in the heavy-duty did so much better. When you're doing general gardening jobs and tasks, put your tools in there. That euonymus has been stuck there now for about 4 years.
But, I mean, we say temporary home until you can decide what to do with it, but sometimes it just is the permanent home as well. I've got so many things growing in these. I
saw that clip and went, oh, that looks awful. I was like, yeah, but it's just staying there.
But that's the point of it, is to give you an idea of how to use these.
Yeah.
And yes, you're going to use them as plant pots. Yes, you're going to use it as a garden truck. But we asked you for your ideas and what you use them for. Simon uses it as a laundry basket, which I absolutely adored.
Really?
Seriously, Simon uses them as a laundry basket.
That is a really good idea,
it's
Simon.
a great idea.
That's a great idea.
I use these for recycling. So I've got 2 in the utility room. One for the cardboard recycling, one for the other recycling.
And I with my 50 litre one, Adam, our lovely Adam, who works with Bex and I, he had some spare tomato plants. I'd not grown many. I'd only grown 4 tomato plants this year.
Oh yeah, he gave you some, didn't he?
He gave me some, and I've actually put 3 in the 50 litre.
Nice.
Yeah, so I just thought that would just make it easier for me.
Well, I think it is a bit space saving. So, for example, I'm growing the blueberry collection. I've got 1 each in the 30 litre pots, which is what they need. However, obviously that's the footprint of 3 of those. However, I do think you could grow 2, maybe 3.
I do.
In the 50 litre pot, and then it's just that 1 footprint rather than the footprint of all 3 of those.
I mean, honestly, one of the best investments you will ever make, and we get fantastic reviews with our heavy-duty pots.
And they're really strong.
So well made, yeah. I've never broken one in all the time I've had them. I've never had a handle bip off. Go on, do that again.
Yeah, it went straight towards that camera.
Because Bex wasn't in a great mood earlier. Something had upset her. Do you remember, Bex?
I do, yeah.
That's it. She's fine now.
I'm fine now. It's all good now. Just take it out on your towel pot.
Yeah!
Oh, sorry, no, heavy duty pot. We'll go to the towel pot next.
So, don't forget, I mean, honestly, if you haven't got those, get them out. And what would be nice, in the group chat right now, give us your comments about these, because I know a lot of our regulars use these. And remember, if you want to send us any pictures, then you can actually email us.
We were doing a count of who had the most, actually. Somebody messaged in, who was it, who said they got 33, I think it was.
That's more than me, actually. I
think somebody said 33 the other day.
I've got 20-something, I'd say.
Yeah.
Because I just bought the nest as well. I think I've got about 22, but people have beaten me on that, haven't they?
Yeah.
But they are brilliant. They are absolutely brilliant. Right, and then another pot that we have got for you, which is absolutely superb, is the Empire Tower Pot with the trellis. And we have got this today at just $19.54 for club members, $22.99 if you're not, $130,108. And I have to say, I mean, when we think of climbers, quite often, you know, loads of my climbers have been in pots with a trellis stuck behind them.
Yes.
Against a wall, and that works really well. But when we first saw this design, it just made so much sense, and it still does, because if you've got a climber in here, and this was in the centre of your patio, you get that view 360 degrees.
You do, and this is one of the benefits of it. Also, the fact that, you know, if you want to, you can pick it up and you can take it away.
Yeah.
To moving house, or maybe the plant just isn't looking its best. It doesn't have to be front and centre and be on display. You can take it and you can hide it somewhere. It's lightweight. Again, it's UV stabilised, frost resistant. I actually really like the design of this one, because obviously it's a different one to the one we previously had. I really like the design on the pot here. And this one is slightly taller than the other one, which might be of benefit to you.
Yes, I've forgotten that.
Only about that much. But I'd say about 10 centimetres, but it does have a little 10 centimetre edge on the other one. You can still get your hands in to be able to help the plant out if you want to.
I realised I've got quite big hands that I can just.
Yeah. It is slightly small, but you can.
Yeah, I can.
You can still get your hands in if you want to. And this one actually comes in 3 parts rather than 4. So you've got the pot, and then you've got the 2 trellis sections. The other one had 3 trellis sections.
And the sort of climbers you can go up here, I mean, jasmine, because that's quite slow growing.
Trachlospermum, brilliant. Sweet peas.
Thunbergia, I grew that last year.
I've got 2 Thunbergias
Have
in
you?
flower pots this year. They're looking really good now as well. They're really romping away
What colour did you go for?
Oh, I got the mixed pack.
Oh, lovely.
So I put 3 in each.
They look amazing. Sweet peas, of course, a bit late for those now. But
Glorious of Flame Lily. I've seen some questions on those, so we'll come to those in a little while.
If you've ever bought our Clematis Boulevard collection, they're the smaller ones that grow to about $1.50 m. Again, superb in here. So
Wisteria, Amethyst Falls.
Yes, the compact one. Sorry, I'm going to tell you a story. So I've got a friend who's in the garden club, Sue, and she's got a lovely garden, and she's fairly knowledgeable. But I went round to her house last week, and she was like, "Oh, we planted this wisteria about 3 years ago, and it just hasn't done much." And I looked at it and was like, I think that's Amethyst Falls.
Right.
And it was.
And she wanted a bigger one.
Yeah, Amethyst Falls is the compact one, and I mean, it's beautiful.
It's great.
But she wanted one that went...
Going to get really big.
Yeah. But Amethyst Falls is brilliant for this, because it is a bit more compact. Yeah. But anyway, the club price is under £20, $19.54. And don't forget, if you are not a club member, you can join right now. We've got a little clip of film. Spot the difference with Bex on this one, actually. It's filmed with myself and Bex a little while ago, but it tells you all about the incredible club benefits. If you love your garden as much as we love ours, then why not join the YouGarden Discount Club?
The club has been running for many years, and it's where thousands of our customers enjoy a whole host of benefits to ensure that they get the most out of their gardens for less.
Now is a great time to join the YouGarden Discount Club, as the benefits have just got even better. So what do you get when you join the club?
Firstly, our members will get bigger discount rates all year round. So you'll now receive 15% off our range of plants and accessories, and that's on top of any other discounts you might have.
For those bigger investments, such as garden furniture or lawnmowers, for example, you now get 7.5% discount on all of our outdoor living and machinery range.
In addition to the ongoing discounts, you'll also get more voucher value when you join or renew your club membership. We will send you 4 £5 product vouchers, which you can redeem throughout the year against the cost of your orders.
And as a new added benefit, you will now receive 2 free P&P vouchers, which can be redeemed against the cost of your shipping.
Club members get priority access to exclusive offers and brand new products at our best prices.
We'll keep you up to date with fantastic advice and top tips from our grown experts and professional gardeners to make sure that you get the most from your new purchases and existing plants. The best way to join the club is with our auto-renewal subscription. You'll pay £10 per year, then at the end of the year, we will automatically renew your membership to ensure you retain all of your benefits. Plus, the price you pay when you join will never go up for as long as you remain a member, and that's a guarantee.
And remember, when you join the club, you will start saving from the very first order you make, as the discounts will be applied immediately. So with all that the YouGarden Discount Club has to offer, why not join us and start saving today?
We'd love to help you make the most of your garden for less with the YouGarden Discount Club.
What was different with Bex on that clip?
Shut up.
What was it? Different jumper.
Different jumper, that was it.
Yes. No, we filmed that quite a while ago, didn't we?
Yeah.
And honestly, on the day we filmed, we were both so excited to share those messages with you because there's a lot to save now with the club. It's brilliant. A friend of mine recently joined, Matt, my friend Matt, and he says, oh God, why didn't I join sooner? So if you do want to join, do it now and you will save on your first order, and then you've got all of those benefits for £10 on auto renewal for the next 12 months. And of course, as we said in that club film, you can cancel at the end of the 12 months should you wish. And you do get a reminder, actually. You do get an email saying, oh, your club's about to renew. So say, if you wanted to cancel, which you won't, but if you did, you can do. Right, the Canna collection. We've just had how busy we are today. You are going to get all 3 of these stunning Canna lilies for just £19.97, and they are beautiful. And when one of the things we love about working here at the nursery is actually seeing the plants, and if something looks particularly good, we will say, oh, can we have it on the show? These all look amazing right now.
They really do. I mean, you're going to get 3 of them, so
they're all different.
Obviously, the one that you're looking at there is now flowering, so that's front and centre. We adore that one. It's called Golden Flame. Great name for it. But let me just point out these for you, because these are called Bronze Scarlet and Bronze Flame. Now, first of all, you just need to take a look at that deep dark foliage that you've got there, and then I want you to imagine it being topped, one with a bright red flower and one with a beautiful peachy coloured flower. And it's the contrast of those 2 things together that's going to be incredible.
I mean, both the red and the peaky pinch. Hang on.
Peaky pinch. Let's go with it. The peaky pinch. Yep.
The pinky peach. Both those together with the bronze is looking incredible, but the golden flame with those edges of yellows look absolutely superb.
Right, so these are really, really easy to grow. They thrive in our compost. So, you know, really well-drained, nutrient-rich soil. So our compost is going to be the absolute perfect spot for these. Now, they can get, you know, quite tall, a metre 20. Yep. These can reach that quite happily, but they're going to need some winter protection. So I just think pots, move the pots. It's nice and easy. You could,
What are you thinking?
All 3 in the 50 litre.
Yeah.
All 3 of them in the 50 litre would be ideal. And then you've got the handles on the pots to be able to move, give them that winter protection, and you're still going to get that real tropical look in your garden.
And what happens every year when they come back, you get, and we just showed you earlier, you get more and more clumps. So they do form really,
shoots,
there you go. There's the new shoots. And these are really rooty. In fact, we will say they're so well rooted, you may even have to cut the pot off because they are really well established.
They are so well established.
The value there is amazing. I mean, I'm not being funny, but when you look at the club discount price, it works out $5.66 per Canna lily with postage included. As long as you use that offer code YGTV 2325, you will get postage included. I mean, and a lot of work goes into our packaging. You know, if you've ever bought plants from YouGarden, you'll know they are really well packaged, so they arrive in premium condition. But I love that collection. I think it's brilliant. I really do. And exotic, tropical looking, and are going to look really quite spectacular. I always think it's nice to have some really standout plants in the garden.
Yeah, the feature, the ones that, and then you've got all your other bits and pieces, but a thriller, and those are thrillers. Yeah. 3 of them, 3 thrillers.
There's nothing average about those.
And I particularly like the peaky pinch one.
Thanks, Pax. Right, then we have got our Lobelia trail away now. 20 garden ready plants, saving £7. The club price at £11 and 3 pence. Now, so you grew yours on the lawn last year?
No.
I'm joking. That was purely for the picture, wasn't it?
That was purely for the picture, absolutely. Now I grew them in some rectangular pots and just put them in front of a grey toy box basically. But what I really enjoyed it. It looked great all summer long. I mean, it started flowering, sort of June time, and then it just kept going all the way through, right the way through to October, November, and it looked amazing. And I do think that works really well like that. Of course, it's a filler for your hanging baskets or in your window boxes, somewhere where it's going to have room to be able to trail over the edges of the pots and things. But I just think it works beautifully as a standalone.
And I will say again, a lot of the supermarkets sell bedding at this time of year, but I just think the quality can be really poor. A lot of them, they don't get looked after, they don't get watered. Ours will arrive in premium condition. And I love the colour mix. And the great thing with Lobelia, they don't need deadheading. So, some summer bedding, fuchsias, petunias, you've constantly got to take the old flowers off to keep them flowering, not with Lobelia. I will say, I think full sun is best. It will tolerate part shade, but it tends to go a little bit straggly.
Yeah.
But in full sun, you just get the most amazing, amazing displays. So if you want to go for that, just £11.03 is your discount club price, and £12.98 if you're not a member, 410071. Now we've got our geranium fire queen. Do you know what? The colour of this is pretty much exactly the colour of your top, isn't it?
It is, isn't it? Oh, it is a bright red colour.
I always think when you wear that top, it actually looks really good. It's a lovely colour.
They are gorgeous, these clusters of bright flowers that you get up at the top there. Nice and easy plant. It is a perennial. You can get it through to next year, but it's what we class as a tender perennial, so you will need to give it some winter protection. They look great, sort of in lines, in front of borders. Pots these work great in as well. You could put them into window. Quite a versatile one. Window boxes, pots, borders. It can go in all of those places. And you've got interest with the foliage as well. This isn't just about the flower. This is about that beautiful zonal foliage and the fragrance that you get from it.
And again, amazing value. £12.73 to get those delivered free if you're club member. 410065. And actually, geraniums are so easy to take cuttings off as well. So say at the end of the year, you'll end up with a big plant. You'll end up with 20 big plants. You can obviously take cuttings off. I mean, geraniums will root in a glass of water. They really will. Do you know what I've got rooting right now?
What?
So my mum's got a carer that comes round every day. And one of the carers, she's called Hope, she loved the rubber plant.
Oh, yeah.
So she wanted a cutting, and I took a couple of pieces off, put them in a glass of water, planning on, because I'd run out of rooting powder, and they've rooted in a glass of water. Some plants do. I didn't expect it with a rubber plant, but these will root in a glass of water, they really will. So if you want to take cuttings at the end of the year, get some more plants, then you can do. I know our head gardener doesn't want me to tell you that, but it's true. Oops, sorry. Right, going to move on to a really exciting gerber for you. It's a gerber collection, you get all three, but these are winter hardy to about -7, maybe even -8. And I never really, for years, I used to have gerbers as houseplants, but you never imagined that they'd be bred now to withstand our winters, but they are.
Well, at the time, it's a bit of a breeding breakthrough to be able to provide, a hardy gerber, one that can withstand frost, go down to about -7, -8. These can cope with quite happily. Once they get established. But it's the flower power that you get with these, the perfect flowers that you get from them. Lovely, strong, sort of straight stems on there. And once they're established, you could be looking at 50 flowers per plant across the season, So you're getting all three of them, which means potentially up to 150 flowers.
Wow.
That you could
and
be
the
getting
flowers
from
on
that.
a gerber do last a long time.
They do. They're long-lasting on the plant or as a cut flower as well. Actually, when you get a bouquet of flowers, the gerber is often the longest lasting one, as long as you haven't soaked it with water.
And they have lovely foliage as well. Really kind of compact foliage. I'll just show you what one will look like once it's established. Looks like that. Here's one I grew earlier. But that is a lovely plant, isn't it?
It is.
And they do look great just by themselves in pots. You want to put them in full sun, and that is the display that you're going to get all summer long.
I actually quite like the sort of rosette of leaves that you get, and then the flowers coming up.
Just a great plant.
And deadheading is super simple. That one's gone over, so just follow it down, snip it off as low down as you can, and you can see actually here there's a new little one just starting to come up.
Yeah, there you go.
There it is. So that's going to get up nice and tall like the others.
And what I will say is I would definitely feed these without blooming fast. They really respond well to feeding. Stu's in the chat, apparently.
Yeah, six-string stew. That's difficult to say, six-string stew.
Oh, it is.
Six-string stew.
Six-string stew. That is not easy.
He just says morning all.
Morning, Stu.
Morning.
We're behaving, Stu, don't worry.
Yes, boss.
Yes. I'm just thinking that is difficult to say, isn't it?
Six-string stew. Six-string
Yeah.
stew. Six-string stew.
Right.
It's a good warm-up.
We're going to move on now to our power daisy. I think this name is perfect for these, don't you?
It really is perfect. These truly are power daisies. It's from the calendula family. I didn't say that right, did I? Calendula family.
Close.
And they flower for flipping ages. So these are bursting out of the packets right now. They've got blooms on them, and they're going to keep doing that right the way through. And surprisingly, November and December, these will flower through.
I mean, that is amazing.
Which is crazy, isn't it? But they are winter hardy plants. You wouldn't think that. You would think that this is part of your summer bedding, and you know it's going to be an annual, and you're going to buy it every year. But these are winter hardy.
And do you know what I was going to say? If you are somebody that loves marigolds, I think you'll adore these. But I mean, marigolds, they die in the winter. They will not tolerate frost as well. Do you know what I'm thinking as well? And I may be wrong here, but I don't think the slugs go for these like they do the marigolds.
Calendulas. No, I don't think they do.
I don't think they do.
Marigolds.
Marigolds tend, I mean, I love marigolds, but they are they're like the top 3 on the slug menu.
Yeah, well, sometimes people plant those as a diversionary tactic.
Yeah.
Eat these instead of those plants.
They'll plant them with the veg as a companion plant, so the veg survives.
Yeah.
So it's just all I'm saying, it's a great alternative. If you love those sort of like marigold type colours, then this would be a fantastic alternative.
Check out the size of these plugs. These are huge. They are jumbo plug plants. They've all either got flowers opening or buds ready to open. There's a bud on that one there, just ready to come through. So these really are power daisies. You are talking about flower power here. You'll be able to see which ones are which, either by the flowers they've got on them or by the label on the packet, so that if you want to separate them and do a pot of yellow and a pot of tango, you can do that, or we do like the mixture that you can see there.
Should mention, by the way, all of our packaging is 100% recyclable as well. If you do buy any plug plants from us, I would always give them a good water, though, before you plant them. That is important, you know. So they'll have been in transit a couple of days. Give them a good water and then get them planted. Right. Still got loads to show you. By the way, good morning. It's morning, so yeah, good morning. Welcome to YouGarden TV. My name's Sean Ryan. This is Bex Edwards. Matt is with us this morning. Six-string Stew is in the chat because he's not with us this morning. But a few just key messages. Free delivery when you use the offer code YGTV2325. So anything that's on the live stream, you've got free delivery when you use that code. Club members, your price is in the yellow. Non-club members, boo, yours is in the red. That's what I'm joking about. You should become a club member today, because you will save 15% on all of the plants, compost and the pots as well. And while Bex and I are here together, take advantage of our plant knowledge. You know, between us, hopefully we should be able to answer everything that you ask us. And if in doubt, we always ask our head gardener, Peter,
Absolutely, yeah. So hopefully we can help.
You're always, we both were chatting earlier, you're always learning when it comes to gardening. You can never know everything, but we have got a great knowledge between us, particularly the YouGarden plants, obviously.
Definitely, yeah.
I've been working with YouGarden for over 20 years. In fact, Peter reminded me, actually. We worked together for the first time in the year 2000. So that was actually...
Was it?
Oh my word, that's 25 years.
Yeah.
God, I was only 19 at the time.
Yeah.
I was only 19 at the time, Bex. Right. And do you know what? We both try, between us, to grow as many of the YouGarden plants as possible as well. Because, I mean, it's all very well talking about a plant, but I always think when you've grown it yourself and you've had that journey, that experience, it's just so much better, isn't it?
Absolutely, yeah.
So we do try and grow as many of the plants as possible. But I am going to confess, I haven't grown Campsis, red trumpet, and I don't think you have, have you, Bex?
No, never grown a Campsis.
One of us needs to grow this, don't we?
But they're pretty easy from everything I've learned.
Yeah, no, same here.
Adam, I know, grows Campsis. He absolutely adores Campsis. It's quite a fast-growing climber, which is a really good thing if you want to cover up structures quite quickly, because some climbers can be a little bit slower. But this one can be quite vigorous, quite fast. It needs a full sun position, and it can get big. So those are the really sort of top tips for you. I would not put this one in a tower pot.
No, it's too big,
gets a little bit too big for that. We are talking several metres. I mean, this could get to sort of, you know, anywhere between 4 and 6 metres in actual fact. So I wouldn't go for a tower pot with this one. But pergolas, archways, you know, trellises right up the side of a wall, those sorts of things.
Oh my word! I've just saw my friend with a wisteria amethyst falls because she wants to cover this whole wooden structure.
Yep.
She should put one of these in.
Totally.
Yeah,
But
and she gets sun there as well, loads of sun.
Good amount of sun. They need a full sun position in order to do well. So you're talking sort of, I mean, I would say 6 hours minimum, maybe a little bit less, but 6 hours minimum, and that's how you're going to get the best results from them.
And how hard do we say these are?
We say they're winter hardy, but we do say that they need a slightly more sheltered position.
Yeah, because I always thought, I'll be honest, I always thought for many years Campsis wasn't winter hardy, but this one is, but you want it sunny and sheltered.
Sunny and sheltered, absolutely. Those are the best spots for them. But you'll get flower power from it. You know, they normally start flowering from June time. So normally from around now, that's when you will start seeing those flowers appear, and they will go through July, August, September, maybe tickling into October, depending on the kind of weather we have.
I am in the process of I'll rephrase this. In my head, I know where the pergola is going in my garden. Just haven't got around to buying one yet. But I would love to have that climbing in my garden. I think it's magnificent. And I love the fact that it's vigorous, it's fast growing, that it will give you the most beautiful displays. Fantastic, like a real Mediterranean look with that one. Now, talking of Mediterranean, we are going to move on to something that I have grown many times, and it is the Oleanders shades of pink. And they've currently got a £10 saving. They're down to £14.99, £12.74 if you are a club member. And I love Oleanders.
Yeah, I mean, look at them. They're so happy. Look at those. Okay, so we're looking at the pink one.
Yeah, that's the pink, by the way.
So this is the pink one here, which is a lighter shade of pink, isn't it?
Yes.
The difference between the pink and the red, they're both pink, but one's lighter than the other. Now, you do get a really long flowering season again from Oleanders, you know, right the way through summer, right the way into sort of September, October time, and they're free flowering, to be honest with you. You deadhead a little bit, and that keeps those blooms coming, but another gorgeous Mediterranean beauty.
And they are evergreen as well. We say winter hard, it's about -5, but you know, once they're established, they can survive. In fact, my friend Matt, who I was talking about earlier, his oleander did survive the winter where it went down to about -11.
Whoa.
But he did lose the top of it, I'll be honest.
Yes.
And he had to cut it back. But generally speaking, hard it's about -5, and they just want to be baked in the sun. And where you see these grow, when you see them growing in the Mediterranean, they're often in very poor soils. So they're not something that wants to be fed all of the time. They're really drought tolerant when established as well. I mean, they do survive in very, very poor climates. And we work, just to give you our sort of like history, we work with the top breeders in the world, we believe, in Sicily. It's a family business. They specialise in breeding oleanders. So when you get yours here from YouGarden UK, they're going to be multi-stemmed, they're going to be super healthy. Yours will arrive in bud and flower, and it will flower for up to 6 months of the year. You know, these were flying in May, but they could well be flying in October. I've even seen a few flowers in November when we've had a mild autumn as well. Only 14 out of 10. And actually, an oleander, although they are really, really easy to see and find in the Mediterranean, there are not many nurseries in the UK that are able to stock them, and it's a really complicated process to bring an oleander over to the UK. And because of our relationship with our growers in Sicily, we're able to do that. And actually, Peter, our head gardener, when he goes to Sicily, he will literally buy thousands of these, like literally thousands, which is why we get these amazing prices. I think his oleander order was like 10,000 or something, so we do get amazing prices. Now, we've talked about Peter a lot. You might be thinking, who is this amazing man, Peter? Well, he's our head gardener here at YouGarden.
He's hilarious.
He is actually really funny.
He's so funny.
He's really funny.
He has me in stitches. Whenever I have a meeting with him, it always runs over. I'm like, I only need half an hour. An hour and a half later, I'm...
Yeah.
He's funny.
He's very funny. We did a TikTok live during the week, and he actually joined us on that as well. But his knowledge is amazing. He loves gardening. I saw his garden last week, actually. It's amazing, as you can imagine, like really amazing. But what does he use in his garden? It's our premium professional compost. So here he is to tell you more.
We describe this as premium professional compost. And the reason for that is it is the compost that is known, this formula we have perfected over decades. So I've been using it for decades. We have perfected it over decades. You've got a blend of the best peats plus wood fibre that you can imagine. Now, by volume, approximately 50% of this compost is wood fibre, and the balance is made up of a blend of peats, and there are 3 different peats. So you've got things like sphagnum moss peat, which is renewable. You've got sedge peat, and then you've got darker sphagnum as well in there. So you've got 3 different peats. You've also got, you can see actually just there, there's slow-release fertilizer. These little green, what look like little eggs, you'll see those dotted among the compost when you're planting it. That's slow-release fertilizer. One of the most expensive ingredients in any compost is fertilizer. You can see there's another one just down below. That is amazing because that will deploy nutrients to the roots of whatever you grow in this compost just when they need it over the next 6 months. You then got what's called a buffer. Now, peat in particular is naturally acidic. So, and plants like to be just on the acidic side of neutral as a generality. There are exceptions, so things like rhododendrons and azaleas, they love to be properly acidic in terms of the ericaceous soil or compost they're growing in. But most things like it just on the slightly acidic edge of neutral. So that's what this is designed to give you. So it's got a pH buffer to keep it in exactly that zone. The wood fibre keeps the sort of perfect air-water porosity ratio, which is what we talk about in the trade, all these complicated terms. But it's, what plants need is they need a jungle gym to grow in. So they need a jungle gym for their roots, which is called growing medium. They need some water, and they need some air, and they need nutrients. And when you've got the perfect compost, it blends the air and the water and the constituents of the compost. It all blends together to give the perfect environment. That's what this particular compost does, which is why it's trusted by us. We will be growing approximately 150,000 potted roses on this nursery this year. That's roughly what we grow most years. We'll be growing, I don't know how many hanging baskets, but our pre-planted hanging baskets that will be available later, you will have bought them in the autumn and last spring as well. They grow in this compost. We will grow countless perennials, whether they be in the 9 centimetre square pots or the 3 litre pots or the 5 litre pots, plus fruit trees. And this is the compost we use for all of those things. So we trust it, the trade trusts it, and actually based upon the well, literally hundreds and hundreds of thousands of bags of this particular compost that you've bought over the years, you definitely trust it as well. And, you know, and actually, peat is a thing. We need to think about peat. Not me. I happen to also be peat, but it's the peat that's in here that we're talking about. We can still use peat in our gardens right now, and actually the alternatives, generally speaking, are a bit iffy. So if you want to get the best results, in my view, use this particular compost for as long as you can. It's got 50% other material in it, which is the lowest level we could get to and still have a professional quality product for you and for ourselves. So we've been as eco-friendly as we can, and we jumped onto that particular that approach years and years and years ago. So this is the same formulation that we've had for at least the last 6 or 7 years, with 50% other material to bulk out the peat, and it still works better. So I would say this is, in my opinion, it's the only compost I use at home. It's the compost we use on the nursery. I can't recommend it highly enough.
Yeah. Very serious at the end, Peter. Did you notice?
He's very serious. He's a serious man.
But it's, I know this a bit seriously. The compost here at YouGarden is amazing, and one of the best benefits of being a club member, as you'll know, is that you save £3.75 every single time you order our premium professional compost. 101.25. If you have just joined us, welcome to YouGarden TV. I'm Sean. This is lovely Bex. These are our lovely plants that we've got, and we've actually still got a lot to share. And this one, the name of this, it was Stu a few months ago. He said, "You won't believe there's a rose that's just arrived in the nursery, and it's called Rosie McRose face." that name.
Somebody was laughing their socks off when they came up with that, didn't they?
Well, I think it was named after. Do you remember there was a public poll to name a new Yes, it was some Antarctic serving boat, wasn't it? Do you
Was
remember?
it? No, I don't remember this at all.
So it was called, and the public gave it this really funny name called Boating McBoatface, and that
Brilliant.
And it caught on, it went viral.
And so everybody started doing it.
Yeah, but it didn't get Matt. They didn't call it that in the end. I think they gave it a name. Yeah, associated with I think was it actually called David Attenborough? Yeah.
Well, good.
Which actually makes far more sense.
But still, that's hilarious.
So I think that's why the Rosie McRose face has come about. They named a submarine Boating McBoatface, didn't they?
That's brilliant.
It's all ridiculous. But this is a gorgeous, gorgeous rose. And I love the flowers on this one, but it's a really compact rose. We were talking about the size of this, and it only grows to about 75 centimetres height-wise, so it's great for pot, this one.
Yeah,
great container.
really, really good
great
for container gardeners, definitely.
Watch some roses back.
I know, I just wanted to get that so you can see in the centre
Yeah.
of it, because that is absolutely beautiful.
Isn't it?
I mean, it's almost got like I want to say like a crimping around the edge of the petals.
I love
the
it.
centre of it is really pretty. A light fragrance. I'm not going to say it's
No,
a
it's
heavily
more
scented
delicate, isn't it?
rose, but delicate fragrance to that. But a lovely sort of graduation to the colour as well. It's got some nice sort of deep pink bits just towards the centre of the petals there. But yes, a nice compact one for growing in containers. It's from Harkness, so you know that you're getting amazing quality with this. They've been breeding disease-resistant roses for such a long time. They've stopped using pesticides and fungicides back in 1990-something. Yeah. It's been many, many years.
So you imagine, because of their breeding, their roses are naturally so disease resistant. They've been bred to be disease resistant. And so many roses, if you don't buy a well-bred rose, you're constantly fighting with the black spots and rust and mildew and aphids and all those horrible things. And it becomes, sometimes when you've got a rose that is constantly plagued with disease, you just give up the will, you really do. But Harkness breeding roses for 145 years, they are incredibly disease resistant and really easy to grow as well. And I always think when you invest in a rose, and you're only paying what, $16.99 today, free deliveries with your offer code, this rose is going to flower for years. I mean, if a rose is looked after, it can actually flower for I've known roses live 15,
decades.
20 years.
Yeah, you can get a few decades out of them, absolutely. It has got a £10 saving on here to get at $16.99 potted rose from Harkness.
Yeah, free delivery as well.
And free delivery. We are talking quite an amazing price here. This is what they're going to look like when they come to you. All of our roses did get Chelsea chopped. They were all growing away beautifully, and then we Chelsea chopped them. And I will say, within 2 weeks, it's amazing how much new growth they've put on. And actually, walking around the rose field here, it's incredible how many more flowers those have now got. So if you've never done the Chelsea chop,
I love the way it's called.
It makes a really big difference, and they're just raring to grow, these plants.
And it's a beautiful colour, this one, isn't it? So, and it's a fun. I mean, I just think it is a little bit, a bit of humour, paying homage, I think, to Boating McBoatface, and only 69 times. But it is a compact rose. So if you're looking for roses for pots, we often get asked, which roses are really good for patios and pots? This is an absolute must, only growing to about 70, 75 centimetres. And it's a floribunda type rose, which means you get loads of flowers clustered together.
Yeah,
good
that one's the most open. That one's the next one. But then around here, look, there's a lovely little bud starting to come out.
It's a gorgeous rose, isn't it?
It's really pretty, a lovely colour.
We love you, Rosie McRoseface. Not easy to say that. Not very good if you can't pronounce an R very strongly, is it?
No, definitely not very good.
That one, is it?
Can you imagine?
Well, my R's not particular. I can't. Can you roll an R? I can't. Okay, can you? Go on. Do it.
Rebecca.
Yeah, so go on, say it with a rolled R. Go on.
Rosie McRoseface.
Oh, very good. Say the whole thing. So Rosie
McRoseface.
Very good. I can't do that. No. I'll do it in my northern accent. Right, so if you want Rosie McRoseface, remember, go online, go on web and order.
Go on web, on the internet.
I am from Yorkshire. When I'm tired or
drunk. I'll say it for you.
I go really northern, don't I?
Yeah, you do.
Yeah. Right, going to move on now to Something we all crave for. The simple life, Megs. The simple life.
Right, it is our Rose of the Week, this one. So a new feature we're bringing in. Every single week we will bring you a Rose of the Week. You know, if you've been watching us regularly, we have loads and loads of roses. We have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of different varieties of roses because we work so closely with Harkness. So we want to feature those. This is a climbing one that we've got for you. So if you've got that archway or something that you need to cover, I mean, a rose, I think it's just quintessentially like British, isn't it? To have a rose growing in your garden, a climbing rose going up a trellis or over an archway. And this one is absolutely delightful. It's going to grow to about 2.5 metres, we're talking here. You're going to get masses of these pale pink blooms, but then you've got that amber yellow centre to them. It's got we're going to class it as a medium fragrance, not heavily scented, but a nice medium fragrance you're going to get on here. But of course, when there's loads of them, if you love the scent of roses, you're going to get plenty of it. Climbing roses are really simple. The simple life. They really are, honestly. It just needs something to climb up. You might need to help it just initially to start with. And the best thing you can do is snake it up whatever it's climbing up. It works with all climbing plants. Rather than just allowing them to go straight up, help them, make them go like this. Stresses the plant. It will then break more buds because it feels like it's under pressure. It feels like it's under attack. So it's like, I better grow some more buds. And then you'll get more foliage, you'll get more flowers. And that's how you get the most beauty out of it. And all you've got to do is a bit of deadheading. And pruning is really simple. Despite there being some tips and tricks to follow when it comes to pruning, if you've got no clue and you just sort of chopped at it, it'd still give you amazing results.
Yeah, really
they are
would.
So eager to grow.
I mean, when I prune my roses, I do it really quickly and I just use some sharp secateurs, but I don't overthink it. I've just sent you, in anticipation of our next plant, Bex, I've just sent you a couple of emails.
Okay, I will.
Is that okay?
Yeah, of
in
course.
anticipation.
And we've got a clip of your garden.
Oh, so I didn't need to bother?
No.
Oh.
It's been a while since...
You could see me on my phone, like, well, I've just sent you that.
Yeah, that's what we've got in the film. But I'll show the picture as well, don't you worry.
No, it's fine. So we've got coming up, so I was just so excited about the Osteospermums that are next, because these are called Purple Sun. Grew them last year, and I'm growing them again this year. You've got 6 plants in 9 scented pots.
There's 6 here, by the way. They're all sort of in together on this plate, but just so you can see, it's 6 of these 9 centimetres.
And it is the most beautiful Osteospermum that you can imagine. Saving on this one is huge. You're normally £60. You got them for £24.94. Club members, £21.20. Again, do use that off code. You get free postage. YGTV 23.25. But this particular Osteospermum, when you look at the colour palette, the magenta bleeding into the orange and then the yellow, it is absolutely fabulous. It is, and it's one of the most beautiful Osteospermums that I've ever grown. Now, we often get asked, are they winter hardy? Technically not, they're not, but they will survive a mild winter with a bit of protection. So yes, if you want to, I mean, about a third of mine survived without, I just left them in the pot.
Left them.
Yeah, and about a third survived. But apparently we have got a clip of mine.
Yes, we have. The beautiful Osteospermum.
I'm excited. I hope you are. Have a look at this. So I grew these from plug plants from YouGarden, the Osteospermum Purple Sun. And I think they look magnificent. I mean, the colours on these are absolutely beautiful. Now, I have got a confession to make. I did slightly overplant. So if you're thinking, how do I achieve that look? These are big pots, about 45 centimetres, and I did put 6 plants in each. So I could have got away with less, but I don't know. I'm a bit greedy, and I just think they look fantastic like this. So yeah, if you want to grow them, they're from YouGarden, the Osteospermum Purple Sun, and these are going to flower all summer long.
Love that ending.
I don't know what I was doing there. They looked amazing, though.
They really did.
And they look like that all summer long as well.
Yeah. And all you've got to do is deadhead. Please keep on top of your deadheading. When I grew them 2 years ago, I just sort of stopped deadheading a little bit halfway through the summer. And of course, they just stopped flowering as prolifically. But yeah, as soon as I chopped them back again, they all just kept going. Kept going right the way through to October. In fact, I had to dig mine out of the pot because I wanted to use that pot for something else. So I literally lifted the plant up, stuck it in a heavy-duty pot, thinking I'll get rid of those later. And about 4 weeks later, they were still going and sending out new flowers. flowers. They just want to flower those.
The only thing I will say is, do use your blooming fast. You know, keep feeding them.
Yeah,
I know they're going to flower for longer, but they create the most incredible show-stopping displays. I've grown them this year. I've mixed them with some purple and yellow petunias actually, but they still look great. And they are really kind of neat. You saw there. I mean, it looked...
You get a mound, don't you?
It looked like I'd sort of like prune those to shape, but no, that's how they naturally grow. But they're amazing. Bex, I didn't realise, but you've just placed a big order for them, yeah?
Yeah, just got. In fact, they were delivered the other day, so I'll be planting those as soon as I find some time.
I mean, you've got a day off this week.
I have, but I'm putting a shower tray on.
Oh,
Wednesday.
yes.
I'll find some time. I was going to do it yesterday, but I had a small hangover, and it was serious. I don't mind gardening in the rain, but yesterday was mental, wasn't it?
It was.
The heavens opened.
Yeah. Hey, that's a good point, though. These are really weather tolerant as well. So they're fairly drought tolerant, but also when there's a heavy downpour, again, I said earlier, certain petunias go to mush. I think osteospermums are pretty good when the weather's bad. You know, so if there is a downpour, if there's winds and things like that, they do hold up really, really well. And they are, so, pretty drought tolerant when established as well. But, I mean, it's just a colour. To me, that is just magical.
It is.
It really is.
I remember these first appearing when we were back on the old shopping channel. That was the first time I presented these. Was on one of those shows that we did back on Ideal World, and fell in love with them then.
Yeah.
And I'm not surprised that everybody else is in love with them as well.
I'm trying that corner of my garden, by the way. I'm trying to create a Mediterranean haven this year, so I've got all sorts of weird stuff growing there.
Nice.
Yeah, I can't wait. I've got a real selection of new stuff.
Good.
And I can't wait. I know I mentioned earlier, but see, this is a great thing when when you're working with gardening colleagues. I'm just growing the tuberose for the first time this year, so I was asking Bex earlier, like, what to do with those.
I've had one flower, which is early, but it's a random one. It did the same thing last year, and I had a look this morning because I went in to water them. I haven't taken them outside yet. They're still in my conservatory. I've got to find some space, and I've got another flower spike coming up.
Oh.
So there's a second one starting to come up. They shouldn't flower yet. They should be slightly later. It's a bit early, but yeah, I've got a second flower spike coming up.
I love every year growing new things. I've got what have I got? I've got the ginger lily that I'm growing this year.
Oh, the fragrance that comes off these plants as
well.
I know.
I have got, what else I've got? I've got the purple art gladiola. I'm looking forward to seeing that as well.
Nice.
Yeah, all sorts. Lots of new calla lilies from YouGarden as well. So yeah, anyway, always good to try new things. And if you've never grown Osteospermum, or particularly that variety, you will adore the Purple Sun. It is magnificent. You will be the envy of your friends, I promise you. Right, going to move on though to...
Dianthus. This is the Coronet mix. Now, I have got some Dianthus grown in my garden actually, and they are flourishing at the moment. They are bright and bold and beautiful, and I think that's exactly the colour mix that you're going to get in this particular mix of Dianthus as well. You've got those lovely bi-colours in there, you've got some lovely ruffled petals in there as well, you've got some double flowers going on too. These are garden-ready plants, so these are absolutely ready to plant out in your garden. I love the foliage on Dianthus because you get a lovely sort of green, but it also turns a sort of like that glaucosy blue colour.
Yeah, I was just going to say that. There's like a blue.
So you get that lovely contrast between the two things. They're winter hardy, they're free flowering, they're evergreen.
Yeah, they're easy.
You can cut flowers from them.
My nan used to always grow Dianthus, and yeah, it's another one, I'd say, really hard-working plant that gives you so much colour with minimum effort. That's a particularly nice mix, though. There's some really, as you said, there's lots of like doubles in there, or bicolours, I should say. There's purples, there's reds, there's pinks. Absolutely stunning.
And loads of buds forming, I will say. So, I mean, I can see buds in the centre. They're small, but they're there. There's buds in the centre there, buds in the centre there. And this one is about to flower. So you can see that one there is going to be flowering very soon, but you can see all those other little buds starting to form. That's one standing up nice and proud there. So these are going to be flowering very, very soon for you. And the great thing with Dianthus is they are simple, they are easy, and just flower consistently right the way through. In fact, I still had flowers again on the Dianthus right in winter time. Honestly,
I agree.
November, December, there were flowers on my Dianthus.
I do think they do best in sun.
Yes.
Yeah, full sun is the best for them, and they do work really well in both pots pots and the edges of borders as well. They're brilliant, hard-working, reliable plants that will give you colour for many, many years.
$8.49 is your club price as well, so it's less than a pound. I mean, what's that? 85 pence.
It is.
Per plant
Well,
there.
have you noticed Bex's maths today? it's good.
85 pence.
Normally there's a bit of like, you know. I think when we present together, generally speaking, my maths is normally better than Bex, but I think your Latin pronunciations are normally better. Because I grew up learning all the popular names for plants.
Yeah.
You know, but. We always say with gardening, there are no rules. You don't need to know everything.
And we're always learning.
We're always learning. And one of the lovely things about YouGarden as well, we always provide you with lots of information, lots of plant information on our website as well. So if you're a bit unsure, always check the plant up on our website and you'll get full instructions of everything that you need to know. But they're a really easy plant to grow. Right, another easy one. Begonia Sahara. Now, I have grown this so many times, and what I love about this one, it's another really hard-working plant that is so tolerant of so many different situations. I've grown it in full sun, and it's called Sahara. It will tolerate the highest of temperatures, but also I have grown it in virtually all shade as well. It does not require loads of deadheading. Again, it's what we call self-cleaning, this one. So as the flowers grow over, they just fall off. It is drought tolerant when established. In fact, you will often see Begonia Sahara used in commercial displays. So if you ever, you know, when you sort of like, you'll go to maybe an outdoor shopping centre and all of the grounds are planted up, you'll often see this on roundabouts or things like that because it is so resilient. And I think you can actually see that if you look at the leaves, you can tell, can't you?
Yeah.
Look at it. They're thick and they're glossy and they're robust.
Super strong. I mean, even the flowers as well, which I believe are actually modified leaf bracts. It's the centre bit that's the flower.
A little bit yellow bit.
We don't care. We call them the flowers. And it is the combination of the two things for me. We've been saying this for the whole time we've been bringing you the Begonia Sahara. It is about the combination of the flower and the foliage. It's not one or the other, is it? Nice and resilient, can cope in a shady spot. You're getting 20... sorry, you're only getting 10 of those. Apologies.
But you could double up.
I mean, you could if you want to. But that's what you're getting for your 1104 is 10 of those beautiful garden-ready plants. The nice big ones ready to go out. There's no growing on needed at this time of year. Just get those out in your gardens.
Yeah, they're wonderful. They really, really are. And I think they look great on mass. I've done whole sort of like beds in them. I've done whole pots in them. But they also work really well with other plants as well. I mean, if you've got sort of like shrubs in pots, those around the edge of them look great. Really good. If you do want more, you can actually on this one. Yeah, look, you can actually go for 20 or 30.
Would you still get your free postage with
That's
that, though?
just what I was just going to ask that.
I'm just wondering whether it's via the item number. Well, yeah. Should we have a look? Why not? Matt's on it, look. Add it to your basket. $6.99. You haven't put the code in yet. Put the code in, Matt.
YG.
You have to put YGTV first, babe. Right, there we go. YGTV 2325. No.
So that was a good little experiment. So
at least we know.
We always generally say that you only get free delivery on the products on the show and by using the offer code. Now, if you are shopping for other items on the website, you will have to pay postage. However, don't forget, if you are a club member or if you join the club today, you will get 2 postage vouchers sent to you worth $6.99. So we give you those. So, you know, if there is ever anything, say, that you want to buy off the website that's not on the show, just use your postage voucher. But you will get free delivery on that 10-pack there, 410206. Right, go on, Bex.
I was just going to say, Marissa has just asked, could Purple Sun grow successfully in hanging baskets?
Yeah.
I do not see why not, absolutely.
But it will be, you've got to remember, it will be upright.
Yeah. So they're not going to trail? Yeah,
so you might in your hanging basket want to put some trailing things around it, but you don't have to. No, they'd go great. Just they want to be in a sunny spot. So, wherever that hanging basket is, it needs to be in full sun. Any more questions?
Loads and pictures as well, but we're going to do a review first, and then hopefully we'll find some time to show some of those pictures.
Any comments say welcome back, Sean?
Always.
Oh, good.
Yeah, loads. Everybody's saying it.
You're lying, aren't you?
I am, yeah.
Go on, say welcome back, Sean. When was last Sunday? Was it a few weeks ago?
It wasn't that long ago.
It wasn't that long
It's
ago.
not a welcome back. You were here recently.
That's why.
Yeah.
Look at me being all needy.
It's unlike you.
Welcome back, Sean. I'm only joking. Right, let's remind you of some of the things we've seen so far. Yes, I'm not being a begonia today, I'm being a needy plant. What's the neediest plant, do you think? What's the most... Yeah, the neediest plant in the garden. We'll have to think about that one. None of the ones today, that's for sure. We've got a really nice, easy selection. Right, Magnolia Genie. Don't forget, this is a smaller, more compact Magnolia. Only goes for about 3 metres. Flowers on bare wood. It's got a lovely, lovely purple kind of cup-shaped flower. It is magnificent. That one would prefer a sunny but sheltered spot. 510971. Then we've got Geranium Rozanne. Wow, what a winner this is, and it truly is a winner. It won Plant of the Centenary at Chelsea 2013. So it was the plant chosen as the best plant in 100 years there. What does that say? Well, first of all, it flowers for 6 months of the year. It will coat well in sunshade and everything in between. It will coat in pretty much all soil types as well. The only one it wouldn't really like is particularly acidic soil, and it's just a winner on so many different levels. And it looks great in pots, it looks great in your borders, it looks great in a hanging basket. It is a true winner, and you get 3 of those for £22.97 or £19.52 for our discount club members. Marissa's just said, welcome back, Sean. Thank you so much. I know I had to push for that one. Now we've got our English Lavender hidcote. Another winner, RHS Award of Garden Merit. It's been given the badge of being perfect for pollinators. A fabulous plant that is fragrant, that is evergreen, that is reliable, and an absolute magnet for the pollinators. 480,478. And again, you will get a 15% saving if you're a club member. Then we've got the Sempervivum Gold Nugget. Sempervivums are brilliant. They're hardy succulents, and they produce lovely little baby plants known as chicks. They also flower. They get these lovely small delicate flowers on tall slender stems, and they survive in gravel and gritty areas. So they really are a plant that loves being a well-drained area. 481026 at 9910. Then we brought you the Digitalis. This is the Illumination Flame Jumbo, brand new breed of Foxglove that's got the most extraordinary, almost like a burnt orange colour, like the perfect sunrise or sunset. More like a sunset, actually. 480,579. They're really big plugs, by the way. So they are jumbo plugs, ready to go in your garden. And that one likes sort of like a semi-shady area. And then I love osteospermums. I really do. I'm getting loads this year. And this is the Aquila. That's the breed of this one, Sunset Shades. Particularly great in terms of performance, going to flower all summer long. It loves a sunny position, but it is a colour palette on this one that is adorable. If you're somebody that maybe don't consider yourself that good at matching colours together, YouGarden have done all of the work for you. So they've put together this fantastic palette of oranges and yellows and ambers. It is a gorgeous collection, one that I'm growing right now, and mine are in flower. 410180. Then these are absolutely amazing as well. So you've got 2 options. Both do work really well together, I should point out, but these are the Osteospermum Purple Suns. Those were mine last year. I mean, they were pretty spectacular, but I'm not going to take credit for it. It is the breeding of these. You know, you cannot help but have the most amazing displays. 409.53, and you're going to get 6 of those already in flower in 9cm pots. If they're not in flower, they will arrive in bud. Now we have got, I'm going to get Bex to say this with her rolling R. Come on, Bex, go on. Are we ready?
Rosie McRose face.
That's very good. 1999, 531179, and it's a bit of fun in terms of the name, and we think it's sort of like playing homage to Boaty McBoatface, but it is a heartless rose. It is a delicate fragrance rose. What I would say in terms of size, this is a brilliant one for container gardening. again, and small gardens, because it will only grow to about 70, 75 centimetres, 531 179. Then the rose of the week is this beautiful climber, and it's called Simple Life, innit? There is a lovely simplicity with this rose. You know, some roses are almost too complex, and not maybe, you know, your taste, but this is a very, very simple single rose that is a beautiful climber. I love, sometimes simple is better, isn't it? And that is a lovely, very, very simple rose. It hasn't got layers and layers of petals, but its simplicity makes it truly beautiful. 530, 736, 1799. And then, now this is one that I've got my eye on, haven't grown this one, but it's the Campsis. Now we do class it as winter hardy, but we would say it wants to be in a really sunny position that is sheltered from harsh winds and things. But it's a vigorous climber. I mean, it can grow several metres. It can cover a trellis of pergola in just a few years, but it does produce these absolutely exquisite red trumpet flowers as well. And I would imagine that the pollinators love that one as well. 550 003. And then we also brought you some grapevines. Yes, you can grow grapes in the UK. These are fully winter hardy. And do you know what? When you see a grapevine growing outside in the UK, there's something really quite magical about it, isn't there? There really is. So these will arrive, they're already big. They'll be up to 120 centimetres. They'll arrive in 2 to 3 centimetre pots. And we've got the red, which is 340 035, 12.74 for club members, or you can go for the white grape there, which is 340 034, with those lovely green leaves and those gorgeous green grapes with the white flesh inside, 340 034. So a lovely selection of plants on YGTV today, but we've still got a few to show you actually. And we've got an amazing deal on our Cordylines, and we've got citrus coming up as well.
Yeah, we have. So we're actually bringing you a deal where you're going to get 2 Cordylines and 2 pots to plant them in. And it's only £25.47 if you're in a club.
That is fantastic, isn't it? Do you know what? And that is like instant impact, isn't it? You know, with that
I love
bit of compost and
I
you're done.
genuinely love it. So
I do.
These are probably going to arrive to you. They normally come in a sort of tall, thin box. They're normally tied like this. So a little bit of compost. And the thing is, these pots are the perfect size to start these off in.
Yeah, they really are.
A good couple of years, you can plant these in here. They won't stay in here forever, no. But you get a couple of years definitely out of this. So a little bit of compost, and not a massive amount because they're not huge pots. So that isn't going to cost you too much money. Pop that in, release it, and boom, there you go. You have got instant drama, instant impact in your garden. This is the Cordyline, or one of the Cordylines that I've actually got in my garden. This was the first one I had in my garden. It is a beautiful colour. It's a gorgeous green colour, but for me, it's all about the architecture that this gives you, the contrast with the other plants in your garden. And of course, as this grows, as it gets taller, it loses its lower leaves. So as these fade, you remove them, you get rid of those. That one wasn't faded, but I'm just showing you.
We were a bit premature, but it's just a demonstration.
You can just get rid of those lower leaves, and then what happens is it starts forming a trunk. Now, the one I've got in my garden is 3 years old, I'm going to say. It started off this size. The trunk, I'm going to say, is now that tall.
Wow, so it's grown quite quickly.
3 years. And by the way, I keep it in a heavy-duty pot. It's not in the ground. So it's grown that much and then you get this lovely spray of foliage up at the top. And that's why I adore it.
And again, it's, you know, some plants in the garden you're constantly having to shape and prune and things like that. Not with the Cordyline. As Beck said, the low leaves you remove.
That's all you do, is remove those lower leaves.
That's it. That's it, literally it. But they are simple, they're easy. 2 of those, you imagine those either side of your front door, your back door, your patio doors. I like to have a couple of plants either side of the barbecue when I'm barbecuing.
Yeah.
You know, just I don't know, set the scene. But when I had smaller gardens, you know, quite often for quite a few years I lived in apartments with just little balconies. They were fantastic.
Yeah, I think for smaller gardens it does work really nicely, doesn't it?
And a lovely gift as well. I mean, it's Father's Day next week.
It is. It's on Sunday next week.
Yeah. So that could be a really nice Father's Day gift.
Absolutely, yeah.
I love getting plants as gifts, don't you? I really do. Plants and a bottle of wine, I'm happy. But actually,
plants and a bottle of wine.
Well, even better. But I'd choose plants any day. I really would. And we class them as fully winter hardy. The only thing we do say, if it's a particularly cold winter, we've got a long spell of maybe snow or heavy frost, just tie them up, you know?
Yeah, just that it's
just
protecting the crown. That's where the new growth comes from. But I did have somebody say, but I tied them up all winter, and now they're dead. And I was like, yes, that's because you did it all winter.
Yeah, no, it's only on those cold nights.
It's only for those really, if there's frost or snow sitting in the centre, that's when you need to do it to protect it from that, and then release it again. So it might be a couple of times over the winter that you need to do that. Don't leave them tied up all winter.
No, I wouldn't like that.
No. I wouldn't like that either.
£204.47. Do I look tanned, Bex?
Yes.
It's all like gardening, isn't it?
It is the gardening. It's proper t-shirt tan, though, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's all pale under here.
Oh, yeah, you don't want to see what's under that. No. It's awful. Do you know, I was like, I've been so short of time, because obviously it's a really busy time, you know, this time of year in the garden. But I was literally gardening in the rain the other day.
Yeah.
You know.
I like gardening in the rain, just not yesterday. It was torrential.
Yeah.
I felt like the world was ending yesterday.
But the rain's been really good for us, hasn't it? Right, we are going to move on now to, and our price on this is amazing. It's a large Eureka citrus lemon tree. Currently got a £10 saving. Club members, you'll get this for £25.49 only. Obviously, you need to use that offer code YGTV2325. Now,
that, my friends, is a lemon. There's another one over here as well. There's another lemon. Oh, just getting in the top of the shot there. Look, there's another lemon starting to form here. So actually this one, and I can't guarantee yours will, but, you know, hopefully they are all of the age where they can start producing that fruit. We reckon these are they're probably a good 5 years old,
yeah, I was
these
going to
plants.
say 4 or 5 years.
The great thing, as you can see here, is this is what sort of happens with this, is that you get flowers and you get fruits on the same plant at the same time. Because the flowers are gorgeous, first of all, sweetly scented, like tuberose. If you've ever smelt tuberose, they are heavily scented like tuberose. Honestly, they're amazing. But then they ripen into those fruits, and those fruits can take, 12 months, maybe a little bit more, to actually ripen to the stage of eating. So it provides loads of interest. You've got evergreen foliage, you've got the gorgeous scented flowers, and you can have fruits on there at the same time as well. And they're really easy to grow. They're not difficult.
I mean, one thing I would say is, just to help with the crops, when it is in blossom, get a little brush or even a cotton wool bud and then just dab from flower to flower, and that can help just get a better
Yeah, and I
crop.
think it's probably a good thing, because it might be that you haven't quite got them outside yet anyway at that time. You might do, but obviously they're frost tender, so they need to be brought into a cool room. You might not have actually got them outside yet at the point when that needs to happen.
Where the pollinator's there. So give them a little bit of a helping hand. Keep them outside all summer long. They love that summer holiday. They want to be in the sunniest position possible. But as Beck said, in the winter, they will need protection from frost. And, nice just to, if you've got maybe a covered porch, somewhere nice and light and bright, but maybe not too warm. And very important, citrus trees are so greedy when it comes to food. You need to feed them once a week in growth season. We do have our citrus food available from Blooming Fast, but you really do need to feed these every week if you are, say, wanting to get the best results and the best crops.
Indeed, indeed. Right, I'm going to go into the emails. He's giving us 5 minutes to get through them.
Oh, great.
Right, so, Ali G.
Hello,
Some
Ali G.
photos of what's looking good in our garden at the moment, taken yesterday. Not sure of the name of the hydrangea, its label is gone. Any ideas? Much appreciated.
Let's have a look.
It can be tricky. Oh, look.
Well, that delphinium looks amazing, doesn't it?
That is beautiful.
That's the delphinium's a bit early this year, aren't they?
Pure
Stunning.
white, beautiful.
Yes.
Are gorgeous, though. Right, what's the next one? Oh, you've got the oranges and lemons.
Yes.
Rose. They're beautiful. Bicolour
Do you
rose.
know what? When we show pictures of that, I think some people don't sometimes believe
that's what it's going to look like.
But they really do.
They do, don't they?
Yeah.
Nice.
That's a lovely one.
Nice. Well done, you. Right, this is the hydrangea. Oh,
that looks like Runaway Bride, yeah.
I think it might be Runaway Bride, my lovely.
I think it is.
It could be another, but to me... Because it stays nice and compact as well, Runaway Bride.
Yeah. That looks like Runaway Bride to me as well.
Anyway.
Yeah. It looks... I agree.
It's a great time in the garden now, isn't it? Because everything's coming out. Right, Dingo. Morning, Bex
Morning,
and Adam.
Dingo.
Adam.
Hang on.
Sean.
Dingo. I know I've not been here as... as often.
No, he did send it before we went live.
So
we can.
I do. Obviously, Adam and I look very similar, don't we?
Early morning pics after all that rain yesterday, plus job for the day, sorting out the arum lily that's gone over in the pond. Bother. Cheers, Dingo. Okay, let's have a little look. Hang on. Oh, that hosta. Check it out.
Do you know what? It has been, because we had such a dry spring, I think it has been a brilliant year for hostas.
Yeah.
Because the slugs didn't get a chance this year, did they?
Mine look amazing.
Yeah,
that one looks good
mine
too.
do, and they didn't last year. So thank you, Dingo. What else we got?
Right, we've got... Oh, look at those.
This is a nice lush area, isn't it?
Love this.
Wow. Look at the lilies. Amazing.
Those lilies. Got all your ferns in
They
there.
really
Got all your
are, they?
hostas in there.
Stunning.
That does look good. Love that.
Absolutely stunning.
Very good,
Yeah.
very good. And then final picture for Dingo. Oh, here's his arum lily. It's gone over. Uh-oh. Look, it's on its side in the pond.
Oh.
All right, you're going to have to get in there, mate, aren't you? You've got your waders.
Yeah.
You've got your waders to get in. Looking good. All right, Dave, did you find out what it is? Yes. Dave, I think Physocarpus lady in red. I'm pretty sure that's what Adam said it was. So that's what I'm going to go with. It's tricky to say for sure, but I think Physocarpus lady in red.
Yeah, I agree.
Hope you're still watching, Dave. Tony, just a couple of pictures. Last Sunday you were not sure in a picture what a plant was. I think you thought it was Heliopsis or something like that. I've sent in 2 pictures of it and the one next to it, and it is the Helianthemum or rock rose. Thank you for confirming. First picture is one raised bed where there are 2 colours, and the second one is the other bed with a salvia in front. I have 5 rock roses, as I think they are so easy and long-lasting.
They are, and they do flower, don't they, all summer long?
They do indeed.
Yeah, they love it. I mean, my mum had these on her last rockery, and they were one of the absolute stars.
Yeah.
Look at the gorgeous, aren't they?
Looking really good.
Yeah.
I see a little bowls mauve poking
doing
in the
very-
corner there
you're
as
doing
well,
very
Tony.
well.
And do you know, I'm a big fan of, I've got all excited about salvias lately. Since going to Chelsea Flower Show and seeing all the salvias and the decorating, the way that they've been planted in their planting schemes, I'm a big fan of those salvias now.
They're easy as well.
Yeah, looking great.
Yeah, my mum's look amazing at the moment.
Penny, just going to order the Magnolia. Don't tell the adult children. They think I'm a crazy plant lady.
No.
A few pictures looking across the garden from the back door.
You can never have enough plants.
Never. You ignore them,
Oh,
Penny.
my word.
You ignore them. Wowzer. You have been busy, haven't you?
Just zoom in again, Beck. So it's all...
I want to say they're geraniums.
Well, they are, yeah, but is it
But which ones, I don't know.
Is it our... They look like our fire queens, don't they?
No, the labels would suggest they're
not ours.
They're not ours.
No, but it's the same variety.
Same variety, I
would
think.
say. They're looking look great against the pots.
Oh, look at these.
That's so cute.
That is so cute. Look at that.
I love that. That's a really nice corner, isn't it? Oh, that's put a smile on my face.
I love those. Well done,
I
Penny. What? Not one more. There's more. Oh, shush you. Right, the first... Mechanopsis, the first of my 3-year-old Mechanopsis to flower this year, and as you mentioned them a few weeks ago, I thought you may like a photo. It really is the most beautiful blue you have ever seen in any garden, or at least that's what I think. You are right. The last 3 I purchased from YouGarden several weeks ago, the alarm's going off in my ear, are also growing in a similar position to the one in the photo, as others planted elsewhere in the garden failed to grow. Oh, but not easy to grow, but well worth the effort. This is from Stephen.
Stephen, thank you for sharing that, because... like you, Stephen, mine have flowered for the first time this year. Wow. And I'm like you, Stephen, I just am beguiled by their beauty. And they're not, my first attempt, I did fail. My second attempt, I've had amazing success this year. And if you are trying to grow them, they are a little bit fussy. They need acid soil. They need to be protected from slugs. They need shade. They hate the sun, and you need a bit of patience. But they are absolutely amazing. So thank you for that, Stephen. It's one of my absolute joys this year. Ali G is trying to order the Geranium Rozanne, but it's coming up with £6.99 postage, and she says she's logged in. So Ali, I'm so sorry if that is still a problem. Matt's going to have a quick look to see if he can work it out. I don't think we're going to run out of them any time. So we will sort it. So we will sort it. It might just be difficult today because obviously it's Sunday. wonder what's...
And John has sent in his little
Hello,
collage.
John.
Now, John is in Cornwall, I remember, so he sent some lovely collage photos, in actual fact. Love this. So it looks like chocolate cosmos up in the corner, got some clematis growing. There's the beautiful bottle brush plant. Yeah, the callistemon. Looks like some peonies in the big picture
I wonder
there.
if that's the boulevard collection, the clematis. It looks
Maybe.
It looks quite compact, doesn't it?
What we got growing on in here? All sorts going on. I think growing on. More clematis pictures. I feel like that might be Hypericum. I think that's St John's wort in the corner there. How lovely.
Oh,
Osteospermums.
Osteos, yeah.
Oh, you've got the hanging basket.
The pineberries.
Yay!
Yes.
You've got the pineberry hanging basket. Well done. So these are the pre-planted ones. We've got these available at the moment. Looking very nice, John. Thank you so much for sending your pictures.
I'm just amazed this year. I got some strawberry bare roots from YouGarden, some runners I should say, and I've got so many strawberries in the first year. You know, I didn't expect to get quite so many. Like they're covered. You know, so maybe I don't know. I think we've had a lot better spring than last year. It's been really warm.
Yeah, it's been lovely. It's been lovely.
It's just great. Our gardens are going to look fantastic this year, aren't they? Right. If you do want to order anything, don't forget. Oh, we're just going to check this one, aren't we? Add to basket. Right, we need to put in the offer code. Oh,
it's coming up 0. Ali, try again.
yeah.
23.25.
Maybe put the wrong code in. It's 20. Why
Ali,
did you
try again,
Yeah,
my lovely.
22.25 because it is coming up on ours with 0 postage. Right. Thank you to everyone for placing your orders today. Really appreciate it. But we would love you to save money. You'll notice there are 2 prices on the screen. For the large citrus, there's that price. That's really good. But there's also another price.
Yeah, this one. We want this one,
Yeah,
please.
because you'll notice the difference there is £4.50. You will get a 15% saving on all of the plants, the compost, the pots on our live streams by using the joining the club, and you get free postage using the offer code. So if you'd like to save money, you can join the club right now. Save 15% on your first order. Here's 2 fabulous people to tell you more.
If you love your garden as much as we love ours, then why not join the YouGarden Discount Club?
The club has been running for many years, and it's where thousands of our customers enjoy a whole host of benefits to ensure that they get the most out of their gardens for less.
Now is a great time to join the YouGarden Discount Club, as the benefits have just got even better. So what do you get when you join the club?
Firstly, our members will get bigger discount rates all year round. So you'll now receive 15% off our range of plants and accessories, and that's on top of any other discounts you might have.
For those bigger investments, such as garden furniture or lawnmowers, for example, you now get 7.5% discount on all of our outdoor living and machinery range.
In addition to the ongoing discounts, you'll also get more voucher value when you join or renew your club membership. We will send you 4 £5 product vouchers, which you can redeem throughout the year against the cost of your orders.
And as a new added benefit, you will now receive 2 free P&P vouchers, which can be redeemed against the cost of your shipping.
Club members get priority access to exclusive offers and brand new products at our best prices.
We'll keep you up to date with fantastic advice and top tips from our grown experts and professional gardeners to make sure that you get the most from your new purchases and existing plants. The best way to join the club is with our auto-renewal subscription. You'll pay £10 per year, then at the end of the year, we will automatically renew your membership to ensure you retain all of your benefits. Plus, the price you pay when you join will never go up for as long as you remain a member. And that's a guarantee.
And remember, when you join the club, you will start saving from the very first order you make, as the discounts will be applied immediately. So with all that the YouGarden Discount Club has to offer, why not join us and start saving today?
We'd love to help you make the most of your garden for less with the YouGarden Discount Club.
So, you know, you imagine if you have a club member, you get all of those benefits, you get your vouchers every year, It's incredible, isn't it? It really is.
Best club I've been in.
Yeah, same here.
And even the nightclubs, this one's the best club.
Absolutely. 205. Oh God, I ended up in a nightclub the other week.
What?
Yeah.
What's wrong with you?
Exactly. I felt so old.
I was going to say, you're way too old to go to a
Exactly,
nightclub.
way too old. And I did try and stand in the darkest corner. But honestly, I was looking, I was like, what am I doing here?
There is a point you reach where you're like, I've now reached the age where I'm too old for this.
I really did not want to be there, but we were out with some young friends and the night went terribly wrong. We ended up in this nightclub. I felt so old and so sad. Right. Because I'm happiest in my garden. That's funny. When I'm in the garden, I look right in the garden. I really do. Now, we've got our Power Daisy Yellow and Tango coming up for you right now. I love these. And I said earlier, if you love marigolds, to me, they've got that kind of feel in terms of the colour and what they do. But they are going to come back every year. Every year.
Yeah. Winter hardy, flowering for ages, starting now. And these are going to keep flowering right the way through to November, December.
I mean, that is impressive,
That is
isn't it?
crazy.
It really is.
They're brilliant for their flower power, the Power Daisy, Yellow and Tango. They come labelled so you know which is which. You could do that kind of display. Each one's going to spread by about 30 centimetres. And you're getting 6 jumbo plug plants here. So that picture you're looking at right there, you could create quite happily with this one pack.
If you've got 6 30-centimetre pots, just one in each, they would fill that pot.
Yeah.
And they'll come back every single year. I like these. I like them a lot.
They're really good, aren't they?
Because to me, they look like a summer bedding plant.
Do you know what? That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
they look like a
they
summer
do.
bedding, but they are not.
Yeah. You would swear, you'd think, oh yeah, they're sort of like, yeah.
I'm a bit tempted by these.
Yeah, I am. Because I love my summer
What can
bedding.
I dig up to put in?
But you've got to you wait for your new garden. But you've got to, with summer bedding, replace it every year. And obviously there's a cost associated with that. But these flower and flower all summer long and do it again the next year and the next year. Love the colour palette as well. So you get 3 of the yellow, 3 of the orange.
I mean, right, check
look
out
at this,
that.
yeah, look at the buds.
2 big flowers there. And 1, 2, I can see 3, 4. Keep looking. 4 buds waiting to open just on that one plug plant. Now, it is a jumbo plug plant, so these are nice, big, healthy, rooty plants that we've got here, but so many flowers.
I don't know why I've not bought those yet.
Me too. That's what I was just thinking. Why haven't we got those yet, Sean?
Right, they're going in our baskets. 480-922 is, of course, your item number. $13.99 or $11.89 for club members. And we'll say it again. If you use that offer code YGTV2325, you will get free postage. And it also unlocks any other promotions that would be currently running as well. Right, breeding plants fascinates me. You know, I've been to quite a few talks about plant breeding, and it is incredible when you get new varieties and the years that can go into creating those. And this was a breeding breakthrough because it's a hardy gerbera for the UK, hardy to about -7, -8. Because you probably think of gerberas, think of them as house plants, tender, hardy to about -7, even maybe -8. And that's what you're going to get that Bex is showing you. 3 of those fabulous plants in 7-centimetre pots. That's what they become. That is impressive, isn't it?
It's really impressive. And when you think about the amount of flowers you're going to get through its entire lifetime, but, once this gets established, maybe year 2, you're going to get 50-odd flowers from one of these plants. Now, I planted them a few years ago. I had flowers in the first year and a good amount of them, but second year it was even more impressive. They're brilliant.
And I love, with gerberas, I love the neat nature of the flowers. They certain plants, my peonies, because of the weather.
Oh, steady.
Yeah, but are you with me? Peonies within the last 2 days have gone from fabulous to absolutely ruined because of the wind and the rain. But gerberas have got really strong stems. And they grow in this lovely kind of upright, neat habit. They almost look like they're lining up on display. And the flowers last a good amount of time. But as Beck said, over the summer, each plant can produce up to 50 of these fabulous, long-lasting flowers. Now, all you need to do with these, they definitely want a sun trap. They want the sunniest position possible. But the fact that they come back every single year, getting bigger and stronger, is amazing. So harder to about -7, maybe even -8. That's good, isn't it?
Really good.
Yeah, love those. Right. Something that I've grown a lot of this year, the Geranium Fire Queen. So I've got them in my mum's garden at the back. because I've said a few times she's partially sighted, but the red you can actually see at the back of the garden. But I've also put quite a few of these in the pub garden. And again, I've got them right at the end of the driveway at the pub, and as you're driving, you can see them.
Yeah.
They're so bright and beautiful.
Really proper scarlet red, these.
Yes.
I mean, that's why they've got the Fire Queen name. They really are a proper red. Zonal foliage, which is highly fragrant, always transports me to my nan's house. She used to grow these on the windowsill, actually, in her little conservatory bit. So the fragrance for me definitely is, it unlocks lots and lots of memories. Beautiful fragrance, really easy to grow. Bit of deadheading, keep on top of that, but quite drought tolerant once they get established. So unlike a lot of your summer bedding, that's going to require you to really keep on top of the watering. Once this has got going, this one is a little bit more laid back.
And it is, I mean, it's always so frustrating when we love the idea of getting lots of sun in the UK in summer. But sometimes a couple of days of lots of sun and no watering, certain bedding plants will just literally shrivel up. But as Beck said, these won't. They are one of the hardiest plants in terms of their resilience to being underwater. They really, really do stand up well. And
It smells so good.
they do, don't they? I can smell from
really
here,
do.
actually.
Yeah, they're really strong.
And what I would say is, yes, enjoy them for the summer, but you might even want to bring a few inside as houseplants.
Yeah, why not? Totally possible.
Yeah, my mum's got loads of geraniums in her little conservatory, and they do great there. They really do. Right, we've also got Lobelia. Lovely trailing lobelia. It's called Trail Away. The clue's in the name. So this isn't the compact bush variety. It is the trailing, loads of different shades, and it's another one that will trail and flower all summer long. Doesn't need deadheading. That's what I like about lobelia. Because if it did go, you'd be there forever, wouldn't you?
Oh, you wouldn't be able to keep on top of that, absolutely. No,
really
I mean,
would.
it's a brilliant one. And the mixture of shades that you're actually getting with this collection. So, I mean, I grew Lobelia last year, but it was all the sort of blue colour. The previous year is when I grew this, and this one was definitely better. Absolutely love that mixture of colour. All in a pot on their own, or as you fill it in your hanging baskets or your other pots and containers as well. Wonderful trail, about 30 centimetres approximately is what you're going to get from this. So those 20 garden-ready plants, you've got enough to use as the fillers in your hanging baskets and pots, and then you've got enough to be able to maybe do just a few pots on their own. In fact, I was thinking we had those lovely, you know, those urn planters we had recently.
Oh,
the small
yes.
size.
Those around the edge of that would look great.
Yeah, and I think those around the edge, or just
all of it,
entirely
yeah.
that, and then just tumbling over. Calista, that was it. Thank you, Matt. I think that in those
Yeah,
urn
agree.
planters, how many would I put in there? I'd probably put 5 in, which is probably way more than you need. But that would give a lovely tumbling display.
I'd put 5 in.
Well, you and I are self-confessed overplanters.
But you do want those somewhere where you can really, really get them to trail. So you do want them in hanging baskets. You do want them in pots and containers. I wouldn't put them in your beds and borders because they're just going to sprawl and look messy. So you really want them to trail beautifully. And because if you've got window boxes, they look great in those as well.
Yeah.
They really do. But a fabulous plant, really well grown, very well established already. They are garden ready with great root systems, and you've got those stunning colours. 410 071 12.98. The club discount price is £11.03. Don't forget, I know loads of orders coming in today. Always use that offer code to get your free postage. YGTV 2325. Do you know what? If I had to pick just one plant today, though, I think I'd go for the Canna lilies today.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I just think the value here is amazing. Because when you look at how big these already are.
Yeah. Well, I really like, because you're doing it, because you've got your big garden, so you can section
there's no bitterness there, was it?
Mildly bitter.
But you're getting a big garden.
I'm getting there. It's not as big as yours, but I'm getting there.
Mine's a labour of love sometimes, trust me, Bex.
I really like the idea of having separate sections in your garden.
Yeah, rooms.
So, you can have your country cottage bit, rooms, exactly that, and then a tropical area of the garden.
But,
and this is going to feed into that tropical area.
It is, but even if you've just got a smaller garden, sometimes just to put 3 of these together in pots in the corner, that's all you need.
Well, we were saying, weren't we? We reckon that you could get those, if you had like the 50-litre heavy-duty pot, you could put all 3 of those together. They'll grow to about a metre 20, roughly in height. Obviously, you need a little bit of space for them to spread, but we reckon 3 in that 50-litre pot would work really nicely, and then it's going to be easy for you to pick them up and move it to give it the winter protection that it needs. You're getting the 3 varieties. You've got the beautiful golden flame. That's that one there.
I mean, that is just spectacular.
Stunning, isn't it? And you can see some of the flowers around the edge open, and these are yet to open.
And when you look at how many buds there are on that.
Loads.
Amazing.
And then you've got the bronze peach, which has got the dark foliage and the peachy flower on top, and the bronze scarlet.
Yes.
Bronzy foliage with the scarlet colour flower on the top there.
And they will produce the most amazing exotic shows. They want to be in full sun. They really do. Actually, do you know what I'm going to say as well? Fairly drought tolerant from my own experience.
Yeah, I mean, I think, yeah, probably.
Yeah, they are. Yeah. Sometimes I've forgotten to water mine for a little while and they've been fine.
And they're not the most tender, by the way. I know we're talking about winter protection. Like mild winters, these could probably easily get through. And if you don't want to bring them in, you could do mulching.
Well, I put them in the greenhouse, which is not heated, and they all survive.
Yeah.
So they
it's
die
not
down,
like they're ridiculously tender at all.
But they are really something special, those. And the value, I mean, we will be honest, they need to be repotted straight away because
look at this.
Look at this. I mean, like, and the thing is, let's just be really honest about this. What would often happen at this time?
He'll be back, honest.
I'm coming. No.
He's coming back. Promise.
But you would literally.
What are you looking for?
Well, I was looking for just a standard 12-centimetre pot, but you know they actually, if they were repotted now and put in a 2-litre pot, you could pay that sort of price just for one.
Oh, yeah.
You really could.
Yeah.
You know, with nurseries, what they do, when they repot something from like a 9-centimetre to a 1-litre, 2-litre, suddenly it commands a big price point. But those are ready to be potted on, so you're getting an absolutely fantastic deal on those.
Yeah, you really are. All 3 of those for $16.97 in the club, of course. Make sure you're in the club.
And from a little trip around the nursery earlier this week, nearly every one of the golden flame was in flower. Yeah. The other 2 are a little bit behind, but they will flower this year. But the golden flame, virtually all of those are in flower now.
Yeah. They're coming. I'm going to grab those Kikis again, Sean.
Oh, sorry.
We've got a triple up deal going on with these.
Forgot about that. There we go.
So you can get one of them for £8.99, £7.64 if you're in the club. But if you put 3 of them in your basket, it's going to be £12.98, and then you'll get club discount off there as well. So we're adding them into the basket. Look, let's have a little look. We've got 1 in there at the moment, so it's coming up at £8.99. We've already put the code in. We've got 2 in there, $17.98. The third.
Oh, great! Look at that.
That's where we get the deal. £12.98. No postage included on that order as well.
And the Kiki planters have got a lovely kind of like aged chalk look to them.
Yeah.
I think they lend themselves to all types of gardens. If you want that, in fact, I think those lilies they're perfect for those pots. Do you not think, Bex?
Yeah, they could go in there, couldn't they?
I think so. Yeah, definitely for this year.
Yeah.
I like that.
Why not?
Yeah. I mean, you know, they'd be okay there for maybe a year, 2 years, then you'd want to repot them. But I like that. Gives you like a nice Mediterranean look.
I planted something in the Kikis just this week and I can't remember what it is. Can't remember. It's gone.
Do you know, we've both been so busy recently. Our minds have just, All
right, but you might need some compost. Please don't run out. Sean and I confessed our sordid, horrible stories of, you know, having used other rubbish compost. And actually, we have discovered, again, we've reminded ourselves why you need this compost.
Yeah, I bought just
my plants aren't doing very well.
I've only bought 1 other bag of compost this year, but the few plants that I planted in it, for some reason, the compost just seems to hold on to too much water, and they've gone, like, some of them have literally died.
Yeah, I mean, my Canna lilies, they're not going to die, but they're not looking great, which is a shame. So we know, don't we? We know to make sure that we are using the premium professional compost because this is where you get the best results. We all know this. We just need to remind ourselves every now and then.
Yeah. So I always think it's worth having some extra bags.
Yes.
You know, because they arrive boxed anyway. You can stock them, you can store them, you can stack them, I should say. But we are doing, again, this is why you should all be club members. I know most of you are. You get 100 litres for £21.23 with free delivery, of course, as well. Just really quickly, it's a compost that we grow everything in on the nursery. So when it arrives, it's not got loads of fancy marketing spiel. It's just a plain white bag because it's a commercial product. But we've been selling it now to the public for,
It's got to be more than 15 years.
Yeah, I'm going to say,
be
got to be. And it is our best-selling product. It's the highest rated, and it will give you fantastic results. I mean, it does make you a better gardener instantly.
Always, yeah.
So, yes, don't ever run out. It's really... You know when you're on a roll and you're doing your gardening and then you run out of compost?
And you just want to finish the job.
So sometimes you will just go, I'll nip to the garden centre. But no, get ours. And we've got a fantastic deal on this.
I know, $16.99 club price for 1.25 kilogram tub of the best fertiliser, the best plant feed you're ever going to use, and no postage to pay. That's going to last you a long time. It's 5 grams per 5 litres of water. So that's a standard watering can. Mine's 10 litres, so I'm going to use 2 spoonfuls in my watering can. And you can pretty much feed everything in your garden with this.
And that will make 1,250 litres, won't it?
Yeah.
That is correct, isn't it?
I don't know.
Right, 100, yes, because 100 grams makes 100 litres. Right. So, yeah, that will make 1,250 litres.
OK.
Even deal.
I'm not doing the maths. It comes in a resealable tub.
Right, I'll tell you what, I'll break that down, OK? Oh. So it will make 250 watering cans.
OK, good.
Yeah, that makes it easy, doesn't it? Yeah.
That's a lot of feed, isn't it? 250 watering cans.
Because you imagine, it's 1 spoonful per watering can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And use it on pretty much everything in your garden. Obviously, for your ericaceous plants, your acid-loving plants, get a specific feed for those, though it wouldn't hurt them too much if you use this one at all. The only thing we're not going to use this on is the grass, because there's just no point.
No. But honestly, if you don't feed your plants, please start feeding them. You'll be amazed at the difference this makes. Suddenly, you know, more flowers, bigger yields with your fruits and your vegetables, healthy-looking plants, and that covers every part of the plant.
It does indeed.
It really does. Right, now something that I think is amazing value, we've kind of kept it towards the end of the show, our hardy fuchsia collection. Now, we do sell a lot of fuchsias that are just for the summer. So like our jumbo fuchsias that we do, brilliant, but when the first frosts come, they generally die. These are winter hardy, so that means they're going to come back every single year. I want to share the size of these. I mean, Bex, have you seen like these?
I know, they're crazy, aren't
they? They are big, look at these.
They've really grown on.
Yeah, look at the plants, look at the roots. And you get absolutely stunning varieties here. Lots of my favourites. You've got things like Delta Sarah in here. You've got Dolly Princess. There's a massive selection. But when I think of sometimes hardy fuchsias, I think of some of them being a little bit simple compared to the annuals, but these are big, full flowers.
They're gorgeous flowers. I've always enjoyed fuchsia flowers. I think they've got this lovely, look, this one in particular, that just like, it looks like a little plump fairy.
Yes, that's a Delta Sarah, isn't it?
I think they're so pretty, honestly. And they flower, you know, for a good long time. Best position is part shade. They don't want to be in baking sun all day long. They like some sunshine, but just not all day is the best thing for them. And definitely the feed we were just talking about. Fuchsias are hungry. If you want the best flowers, the most flowers, give it a little feed.
And you do get in this one, I think that's the hawk's head, isn't it? The white one.
Yeah.
I think that's really quite striking as well. But yes, they are hungry. Feed, get you blooming fast, and deadhead as well. If you don't take off the flowers as they go over, they produce like little berries. If you don't take those off, it will just think it's done its job.
Done my job.
Yeah. I made a mistake last year in the pub garden. I was away for a few weeks, didn't deadhead the fuchsias, and then they stopped flying for several weeks.
Yeah.
They were like...
I mean, they come back again once you get in there and deadhead them, but you want to keep them consistently flowering.
And they will over time. They form like a shrub, so a woody shrub.
Quite upright.
Yeah, gets about a metre
or
so, eventually. But what I tend to chop mine down in springtime, then you get all the new growth from the base. And they will flower all summer long, normally about sort of like end of June onwards until the first frost. Right, we've got a lovely little, I was going to say little Acer, not that little.
It's not that little.
Not that little.
Actually, this is one I don't have. So maybe I need to get this one as well. Right, let me just tilt it forward so you
in
can
your
see.
new garden, Bex, you can have a whole area.
I'm going to have an area.
Yes, next to the east wing.
If only. One day, Sean, one day. Yeah, look at the foliage that you've got on here. This is what I really enjoy about Acers, is that lovely colour change foliage you get from them. Nice upright growth on this one.
Oh, it's lovely.
So unlike my garnet, which I did a video on the other day, it spreads wider than it does tall. This one has a much more upright growth to it. Of course, you're going to get all that wonderful colour change foliage from it. But the most desirable and appealing thing that I think about Acers is how calming they are. They're beautifully relaxing and calming, and they create that atmosphere in your garden where you just want to go and sit and read your book and drink your cup of tea. This is the chill out corner.
It is. And they work really well next to water features. They look nice next to Buddhas, things like that. They love a quiet corner themselves, so they want to be kept away from harsh winds. They want to be kept out of the full sun. They love, say, morning sun or evening sun, but not full sun in the afternoon. That could scorch the leaves. And they are, generally speaking, Acers are very easy to look after if you just keep them out of the sun and out of the winds. Generally quite slow growing, so they won't take over, they're not invasive. People often grow them in pots. I've got some in my borders, but mostly in pots. But also in the autumn, as you were saying, that's the colours that you can get.
Yeah, before it drops its leaves, it gives you a real blaze of colour. And actually, the fresh new stems, the new growth.
These are red, aren't they?
It does come through a really beautiful red colour, a bit like you would get with dogwood in winter. You get that bright red colour to the stems, and it's that fresh growth. And of course, then the colour changing foliage you get as well. You know, when you were saying earlier about favourite plants in the garden, it would be remiss of me not to say that Acers, and I can't put it down to one variety, but Acers have to be right up there.
And
I
actually,
love them.
if you've already got a few Acers, if you haven't got this particular colour, when you group Acers together and you've got sort of like greens and oranges and burgundies, it looks fantastic.
It does, looks really good.
They really do look lovely grouped together. When
It'll
you
get quite
colours.
big as well. So if you're
this is one of the taller ones.
That's one of the taller ones that can get, you know, really big. You know, 4-6 metres in many years.
Yeah, but you can obviously keep it contained in a pot. You know, they're very, very happy in pots. They really are. But that's a lovely variety, it really is. Right, we're going to move on to our gold nugget next to our Sempervivum. Been really popular.
I love that it's been popular.
We've both got this one, haven't we?
It is a brilliant one, honestly. And I mean, they come to you as these plug plants that you can see here. They've already got babies on as well. These bits around the side, these are the little pups, or the chicks, the hens and chicks. So you can remove those, that little one there. You can just pull it away as long as it comes away with a little root attached. You're good. You can plant it up and you've got new plants. And this is the great thing about them, because they readily produce all of their beautiful babies, and you can get a colony of these growing. And
they just look fantastic in little displays, like looking now. So if you've got any old pots and things like that.
That display
really
there,
cute.
isn't it?
But the only thing they don't like is to be really wet. So I always say put them in pots with really good drainage. Terracotta pots work really well with these. But if you want, I tell you what though, I know it's only terracotta look, but the Kikis would be ideal for these. But if you put them in the Kikis, I'd put a layer of gravel in the base of the pot just to make sure you've got that.
Make sure the drainage.
Yeah. And I always put gravel around them as well, around the actual plants. But they are so adorable. They are winter hardy. They always produce lots and lots of babies. I mean, they really do. They really do produce
Prolific.
lots.
Prolific.
Yes. Lots of children, these. But it is that variety. We have loads of Sempervivums here at YouGarden. There's so many different varieties. But the gold nugget, I think, is one of the most colourful. You know, you really do get like reds and yellows and ambers.
It changes colour as well, depending on the amount of sunshine it's getting on it. You know, throughout the seasons.
And we should say, when they arrive, they're not that colourful right now, but as they mature as well, they get more spectacular.
Really bright.
Like us, Bex, as they age, they get even more beautiful.
Let's go with that.
Yeah.
It's only $8.49 as well for all three of those. We've got the Dianthus Coronet mix for you. Garden-ready plants, our most popular product on the show today, which is lovely to hear.
Busy show as well.
And loads of these that have got the buds on. So you've got, that one's about to open, and there's loads of others that I can see on these garden-ready plants. They are big, they are beautiful, they're really, really rooty, and they are ready for you to plant out in your garden. The great thing with Dianthus is that it is winter hardy. You've got the gorgeous colours included on there, bi-colours, double petals as well, and the contrast against that lovely foliage that you've got there, which turns a lovely sort of glaucous blue colour. We'll give you the details so you can see the prices on this one as well.
Yeah, if you're on the Sempervivum, 481026, and if you like the Dianthus, 410209. There's a lot to be said about these, isn't there? When you actually break that down, evergreen, winter hardy, flower all summer long.
Yeah. And you know, I mean, I don't think these ones get quite as tall as other varieties. So these aren't necessarily going to be your, you know, ones that you could use for cut flowers.
No, I'd say these are front of the border.
These are definitely front of the border, little pots, those sorts of things. You know, on your table where you sit down and eat when you're outside in the summertime. That'd be lovely in a little pot on there.
But really easy. Again, you know, just hard working, flowering every single year, producing hundreds of flowers every season, and staying neat and tidy. I always think Dianthus, they are fairly...
Yeah,
they're clump form, they're neat, they're tidy.
Yeah.
They're not straggly and messy like some plants are. Imagine, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, Chelsea this year, a lot of the gardens were very
Yeah, it was very natural,
yes.
wasn't it?
I told my other half, Joe, I was like, our striped lawn's really out of fashion.
Yeah.
410 209.
Oh, mine's well in. My rubbish lawn.
And then we've finally got here the Begonia Sahara, which is, these have also been really popular. And these are a superb plant for the summer that's so easy. And I always think we never know what the weather's going to be like in the UK, but most summers you've got a mixture of everything. You have some days where it's absolutely pouring down with rain. We might get a few weeks where it's scorching hot. Do you remember that summer a few years ago when we had temperatures of 40 degrees?
Do indeed.
We may get loads of rain. We may get a few weeks of no rain whatsoever, but do you know what? Begonias are so adaptable. This particular variety of the Sahara, doesn't matter what the weather throws at them, they are absolutely going to flower their socks off all summer long.
This is the best thing about begonias in general, and particularly Begonia Sahara, the fact that they can cope with no matter what the summer weather throws at them, and that these can grow in sun or shade. This is why they're used in commercial planting schemes. You will see these, you know, you see these in the middle of roundabouts and things, don't you? And in shopping centres and what have you. And it's because they don't require loads and loads of attention. And that's what we love about them. This is why they are a customer favourite. Lovely pink, white, red flowers above that foliage that's both green and bronze. And it's the two things in combination that make these so appealing.
Yeah, they're just a winner. They really are. And they are just an annual, so, you know, you just enjoy these for the summer months. But boy, do they give a massive display all summer long with minimum effort as well. Right, we are nearly out of time. It has been absolutely lovely to be with each and every one of you here in the potting shed with myself, Sean Ryan, Bex Edwards, Matt, who you've not seen. We are doing a TikTok live this afternoon. So if you've got the TikTok app, you can tune in to Bex and I this afternoon on TikTok.
Yes, indeed. No major comments, but Ruth's gone. She's got to go into hospital on Tuesday. Neil's saying bye. See you on Thursday.
See you, Neil.
Everyone wishing each other luck. So thanks everybody for tuning in today. It's been really lovely.
It has, hasn't it?
We do love our Sundays, don't we?
We do love our Sundays. Right, but we also love a cup of tea and a coffee. So we're going to have a drink.
And a slice of flapjack. That's what I've got.
Oh!
I've got a slice of flapjack.
Just one?
Just one. That's all I brought.
I got excited then.
I might go to the vending machine.
Yeah, I might as well. Right, from us all here at YouGarden, join us for TikTok this afternoon in about an hour's time. Take care.